How is everyone doing today in this Pokemon boom that we're in? I did not have everything fully set up, but I did not want to be late, so I went live. We're gonna finish setting up as we go. I have a little bit of a conversation. The thumbnail, the title. I did in fact today, 5 hours ago, spend $124,000. Bought a massive collection. I could not fit everything in my office with me, but I do have some pretty cool binders. I have a collector app that I can go through. Let me know in the chat if you want to go through the collector app, if you want to chat about everything I bought today. Single slab sealed, a little bit of all of it. I'm missing on what else I need to set up still. But yeah, as always, I'm going to be live for the next 60 minutes to 360 minutes, depending on how many questions you all have. As always, I answer all the questions. Big stop sign, big caps lock, yell at me, question, and then follow with your question. But let me get my my notes up. I think I had a couple notes that I wanted to touch on. If anyone watched my video Monday, we are booming. We are booming like I had not comprehended. I said it months ago, and I'll continue saying it for the foreseeable future. But we are booming. I think everyone widely accepts the fact that we're booming, but I think everyone doesn't quite fully comprehend, understand, appreciate the extent to which we're booming. I include myself in that. That is not me talking about thee. That is me talking about us. I had a couple individuals, the spouse, the wife of a guy that I was buying his collection. She drove across the country, like across the country. I don't want to share information that's not mine to share. I live in New York. Somebody way over on the other side of the country drove a cargo van full of Pokemon collection to me. And yeah, I bought that. That's what's in the thumbnail. This week also, so 6-figure deal in, and then I had a 6-figure deal out as well. I sold earlier this week. I locked down a deal of a lot of the excess packs. I buy packs constantly. That was one thing I meant to do in the prep that I didn't do. Let me go get my hot buy list. We are live. We will do this on the fly. But I'm always buying. I will be your liquidity. Let me be your liquidity. If someone else is paying more, absolutely go sell to them. But I pay quite strongly all the time. That's why I'm buying 6 figures, if not multiple 6 figures every single week, because I pay pretty strong. And what I have every Monday, I update what I call my hot buy list. My hot buy list especially, I'm paying pretty strong, 80, 85+%, if not 90, 95% at times. These are all the packs. These are all the sets, SV, Sword, Shield, Sun, Moon, XY era, booster boxes, booster cases, collection boxes, whatever. That's a lot of what was in this collection that I bought today too. But I'm always buying, so feel free to sell if you want to. But one thing that I do is I accumulate beyond my needs. Certain things I accumulate. I'm not going to put it on screen, but I'll pull it up so that I can kind of give a rundown of what the packs were that I sold. Dan, you did a 6-figure bulk pack deal. One, Dan, don't you need them for the live streams? Yes, absolutely. We're on pace to rip about 100,000 booster packs this year. Yes, it's down from what we were last year. We're doing more mega streams. We're doing more exotic stuff. We're doing the instant rips, all different kinds of stuff. But we're on pace to sell about 100,000 booster packs this year. And I had some slower movers. I had certain ones and some not slower movers. Sometimes you got to you got to sell the goods to get rid of the stuff that you don't need quite as much. But yeah, I sold, included in this deal was thousands of Obsidian Flames, a couple thousand 151, a couple thousand Phantasmal Flames, also a couple thousand Mega Evolution. I broke down so many of those first partner Series 1 collections that I had thousands of each pack ready to go, as well as PK Ponga fully stocked. There was Journey Together. There was a tiny bit of Prismatic. There was Shrouded Fable. Pokemon Go. We are booming to an extent that people would not comprehend because I sold Pokemon Go to a mystery pack, repack, or whatever you want to call them. I sold, in total, it was 15,480 booster packs, and it was well into, not like multiple 6 figures, but well into the 100K plus tier. I don't even remember the exact number off the top of my head. The wire hasn't yet landed, but most of the boxes have been shipped out. But this week, I was thinking about this just earlier today. If you go back the past week, the past 84 hours, my vehicles have been filled 3 times. One time, a week ago, last week, I was live on site in New Jersey from Bierski's new shop. Shout out to Bierski. He's opening this Friday. If you are in the Belvedere area, go check him out. I think it's like Northwest Jersey. A week ago, literally a week ago, like today, I drove a minivan full. And when I say minivan full, I almost had to have stuff on my lap. My right elbow was like knocking up against Pokemon. I couldn't see my right side view mirror. I could see my left side view mirror. I could see a lot of boxes in my rear view mirror. It was crazy how full the van was to stock out his shop. And then going to UPS for this pack deal, 10,000 of the packs came from me. A few thousand packs were on site with Ponga. He facilitated. A couple thousand packs were on site with PK. He facilitated. Shout out to those guys for aiding in the offloading. They actually like hallelujah, praise Arceus. Dan is getting rid of some of our Pokemon Go finally after all these years. But yeah, it's crazy the extent to which we're booming because like those packs, I gave liquidity to people who wanted to offload them a while ago at a fair price, and most of the time, like they were probably making money doing it, going to Costco, going wherever, grinding, breaking down product, keeping cash flow going, cashing out with Dan, cashing out with Catch 'em All Collectibles. Always hit my DMs, hit my email if you want to cash out with Catch 'em All Collectibles. But and keep the questions coming. I see the questions coming. I will be starring those as I go. I will be getting to those once I'm done with my little rant ramble thing. But so Bierski's shop stocking 1 van full, going to UPS to offload the pack deal. That wasn't the minivan. That was the other vehicle, the small SUV, which can't hold quite as much. But that baby was stocked. And then the minivan was like, so they came cross country in a cargo van, like a budget rental van. Like not a minivan, a maxi van, and it wasn't anywhere near full. Like that van could probably hold 3 times the volume of what my van could hold. But when I looked at it, I'm like, oh man, I might have to take another trip. I might have to do something here. But I Tetrised it, floor to ceiling, passenger thing. Dumb of me. I had the car seats in the car still. I took one off and I like put it on top of the other one. I flipped it upside down, put it on top of the other one. And everywhere was filled in the van. It was crazy. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Do you want to see the collector list? Do you want to browse through? Do you want to flip through some binders? I can do that if you want to. If you don't want to be bored with that, no, Dan, no, YouTube man, just answer my questions. I'm trying to get rich in this boom, trying to get liquid, trying to make some money, trying to make some flips, trying to invest, trying to collect. Whatever you're trying to do, let me know. Ask me questions. I will do my best to help you. I'm just some guy on YouTube, but I think I have a decent bit of experience and expertise and knowledge and all that good stuff. I've made a lot of mistakes, and if I can help prevent people from making their own mistakes, that's great. Live vicariously through me on this journey. But I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to start some questions quick, and then that's one thing. The best deals, you can't use a credit card. The best deals do not. They're not allowed to be using a credit card. Theoretically, you could cash advance, pay obscene interest rates, and yada yada. But I have a line of credit partially for that. And line of credit check. Let's do a temperature check on Dan's line of credit. How's it sitting? How's it faring? It's got 6 figures on it. It's not capped out by any stretch of the imagination. $250,000 line of credit. But most of today's collection, just for cash flow purposes, tomorrow's consignor payout day. The Fanatics money hits tomorrow morning, and then I pay it all out. I have a spreadsheet like dashboard thing that shows all my money going out, all my money coming in, all that stuff. And the Fanatics deposit tomorrow is substantial enough, like plenty. And obviously it would be because consignment, I can't lose money. I take people's cards. Let me put the thing up. I take people's cards and I sell them for I sell them for lower rates than they could on their own on Fanatics. And then I take the proceeds, less Fanatics fees, and then I take my small fee off of that as well, and then I forward the rest to the consignor. So yeah, but I'm always looking. Like my consignor sheets tell me, I'll just tell you the numbers. My consignor sheets tell me that I have to pay out $300,000 tomorrow. Well, there's not $300,000 in my bank account as we speak because collections and all this and that, but my transfer from Fanatics tomorrow, one of the biggest transfers I've ever had from Fanatics for a single week, $380,000. And the way that it works too is like some of that's my stuff, but the vast majority is consignor stuff. I mean, $300,000 is what I'm paying out tomorrow. It's a little weird though, because like the auctions run Sunday to Sunday. So sorry, Thursday to the following Sunday, and then things get paid when they get paid. Some of that stuff is carryover from the prior week. Not that I necessarily had that much in 1 week, but that's what it amounts to with the trailing 4 weeks, some payment stragglers, and then the new batch and all the different things. It's pretty wild to manage the cash flow that's going out to the streamers, going out to the coming in from the consignment shops, going out to the consignors. It's a lot. It's a lot to manage it all, and having that $250,000 line of credit so that I can just plop $124,000 collection buy on it, and then do the wire, do the certified check, pay the cash, whatever I'm paying. And then in the coming 2-3 weeks, I'm going to box things up. I'm going to send them to Bierski. I'm going to box them up, send them to PK, Ponga. I'm going to send them to all the different places. And then I'm going to wait. And a week from now, I'll be getting some money rolling back in. A month from now, some money more will be rolling back in. Some of that stuff's going to go on the pallet. Going back to my video Monday, the pallet video, there are more pallet videos coming. My next 2 videos will probably be related to the pallet to some extent. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I had going on today. I'm going to go down and I'm going to start starting some things, and I'm going to see if people want to see stuff. Hi, Dan. Sell me Pokemon. Okay, good night. I literally just sold Ponga some Pokemon earlier today. How's it going? Nice to see everyone in here. Excited to finally make a live stream in before we are booming. Yes, I probably already said that about 5 times now. Lies told on Twitter. I don't know what lies were told on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. We're booming. So John A. Torres wants to go through what I bought in the actual market value. Hey, Dan, Destin Ravel's ETBs have been showing up at Walmart restocks the last couple of weeks. Any coming through distro? I've not heard of any yet. That doesn't mean there's not any coming. But I did one of my local guys. I got scalped on a few Destin Ravel's ETBs. I paid 80% of market, and they bought it at MSRP. I think it was actually somebody bought it for MSRP, and then somebody bought it from them, and then they sold it to me, and then I'm going to sell it on to somebody else. And how much Ella Langley is too much? I don't know who or what that is. Should I Google? American singer-songwriter. Oh, classic country, southern rock, and contemporary pop. I don't know if I've ever heard any of their songs. Interesting. I'll have to give a little bit of Ella Langley a listen. Let's discuss Pokemon Center not reprinting booster boxes in specific at Destin Rivals. If you want to ask me a specific question about that, feel free to shoot away. But like, I have no control over, no knowledge over what Pokemon Center or Distro or Walmart or Costco or any of these things will ever be restocking, reprinting. So like, I don't burden myself with too much thought on those things. They do affect me, but I can't control them. And the only way that I'll worry about or give energy to certain things is if they do affect me and I can control them. If something doesn't check those 2 boxes, it's not worth giving much worry over. But a lot of people live in the noise. A lot of people live in the analysis paralysis, and they'll just constantly, why is Pokemon not restocking this? Why is this not real? Like, I don't know. I kind of care, but I can't control it. So I'm not going to put too much energy to it. What's up, man? We're booming. That's what's up. I'm starring more things. I'm answering some of these as I go, and then I'm going to star some as I go too. I know it gets memed on, but every time I've ever had Pokemon Go, it has sold very quickly. That's really interesting to me. Like, one thing that I always say is caveat, disclaimer, Dan disclaimer. I'm one guy. I'm one like rip and ship operation. A couple different streamers, couple different platforms now, eBay Live and Fanatics Live. But I will tell you exactly how many packs of Pokemon Go we sold last year, and I will tell you exactly how many we've sold this year. So in 2025, we sold approximately 272 booster packs of Pokemon Go. So we sold 180,000 packs last year, and only 272 were Pokemon Go. Some of those weren't even rip and ship. Some of those we were doing like bundles with like Lost Origin or something. But we did some buy it now things, farming some affiliate link things. But yeah, so 272 were sold last year. How many were sold this year? Pokemon Go. We sold 9. So we sell cards mostly. We sell packs mostly in 9-pack lots. We've sold one 9-pack lot of Pokemon Go this year. Maybe it's Fanatics. Maybe it's PK Ponga don't have the ability to sell Pokemon Go. I don't think it's that before they say something in the comments, get mad at me. But yeah, anecdotal. Some shops might have people local to them, local whales that just rip and rip and rip Pokemon Go and can't get enough. Like this stuff is all very anecdotal, small sample size, yada yada, all that stuff. But Pokemon Go, I mentioned it in my palette video. I had the opportunity to buy. Maybe I didn't mention the exact price. I bought 2,500 packs. This is probably a couple of years ago at this point, but I bought 2,500 packs for like 60% of market. When the packs were $6 a piece, I paid like $375 a piece, and I got a couple thousand. Hindsight, I think I could have gotten maybe 1,000 more. It wasn't like an unlimited pool. I couldn't have gotten 50,000 packs, but I want to say I got like 2,500 to 3,000 packs at like 60% of market. And I don't want to like blow them out at 80% of market. And I always figured with like a long-term vision. One, I thought the set was decent. I thought the set was hated on a little bit too much. I thought it would eventually sell, and I thought eventually the pack price would go up over time. Well, what do you know? I paid $375 a couple years ago. It's no 151. It's no anything else. But like it's not too bad to sell to buy at 60% of market when it was $6 a pack, and then I sold it. It looks like it's $11 a pack now on TCG Player. My bulk pack sale was at about 84% of market for all the packs that I sold. 15,000 packs at about 84% of market. And then the buy that I made today was about 80% of market. So I was able to get rid of lesser stuff that wasn't as useful to me. And then I might make a video out of like, I traded 15,000 booster packs for Pokemon Center ETBs and ETB cases and booster box cases and Moonbreons and all different kinds of slabs, all different kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, let me yeah, the van was crazy. I'm buying. Was Prismatic on my hot buy list? My Prismatic stock isn't super deep. Where? Oh yeah, I put it over here. I lost my OBS. Let me double check. I don't even remember what my hot buy list is. We're booming too much. So I don't have Prismatic on the hot buy list. If you have, and some people might get confused by this, the more you have, the more likely I'll pay a higher percentage. People, like you buy volume, you get a discount. Actually, no, like that's not usually the way it works. If you have 100 packs of Prismatic, I'm not going to pay 85%. If you've got 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 packs, and I can do one buy as opposed to buying from 30 people and having to pay out 30 people and audit 30 buys, reach out. I might buy a few thousand Prismatic at 85%, though it's not on my hot buy list this week. Occasionally, usually my buy list is firm. If you've got 50, 100, 200, 500 packs, my buy list is always firm. If you've got thousands of packs of a relatively decent set, I would file Prismatic Evolutions in the relatively decent pile. We can talk. I can go 80, 85%, sometimes even a little bit higher than that on the right set at the right time. Show it all. Show us binders and collector, YouTube, man. Yes, I like it. Can do that if questions are slow. I'm starting more things, and I'm going to show a couple things. Garen's due a payout tomorrow, sounds like. Spreadsheet went positive. You'll love to see it. 6-figure MetaZoo collections, do they exist? Is there such a thing as a 6-figure MetaZoo collection? I'm not at a point where I want to tie up that much liquidity, cash flow, capital into 6 figures worth additional of MetaZoo because I have a fair bit of MetaZoo myself. But shoot me an email. I might offer you. I mean, I'm paying 80, 85% on Pokemon. I might pay 20, 25% on MetaZoo. We'll see. We'll see what you've got. I know this boom is happening, but when are you hitting Dragon Rank and Leagues? So if you check Discord, literally 20 minutes before I went live, I AFK'd my way. Actually, I didn't AFK my way. I did a little construction training. I had every skill was above like level 60, and then my construction was level 15. So I went and I built a bunch of oak chairs, and then I built a bunch of elemental balances, and I got my construction up to like level 60 to plow through the last 400 points I needed for the final relic. So just earlier, like 20 minutes ago, I got the flask thing. Now I can go into Coliseum and I can tank mage my way to the Coliseum, and then I can tank mage my way to the Inferno. Now I can really start playing the game. I'm actually, as we speak, if you're friends with me on RuneScape, you'll see that I'm logged in right now to a Leagues World. I am AFKing some bandos. I just literally click once every 30 minutes. I kill, I don't even know how many of him I kill an hour. Maybe 40 an hour with the respawn timer being terrible at God Wars. But I want that pet. I think I have 8 pets now across all the different leagues. I have a goal to add at least 3 or 4 this leagues. I got a lot of the easy ones out of the way, but I think my main goals for this one are I would like to get a God Wars pet. I already have Kree. Bandos would be cool. He'd probably be one of my favorite ones. I already have all the God Swords. I already have all the armor. But I'd like to get a Callisto pet as well. I'd like to get the Bandos pet. I'd like to get the Rift Guardian. It's just a matter of like a couple hours of clicking with. I did get I'm a Soul Harvester. So a couple hours tops of passively clicking on the side while I'm doing something else on the on the nature altar or whatever my best altar is, and I can guaranteed it's a matter of like 2.5 hours tops to get a pet, a Rift Guardian pet, and then maybe I'll get. I think I already have the fishing pet. Maybe I'll get the mining pet, something else. I don't know. We'll see. But I am playing some, even though we're booming. Scrolling down, starring more things. You've def heard he's choosing Texas. I can tell. I've heard it and don't listen to country radio. I don't listen. The only radio I listen to is 90s country Pandora, where it's not showing up. And then I listen to Taylor Swift radio. Maybe it would pop up in Taylor Swift radio on Pandora. And then Kids Bop radio. It would probably not pop up on. But maybe I've heard it. It doesn't sound familiar. I am starring more questions and comments. I think it's because most people watching a catch 'em all rip and ship are deeper in the weeds when it comes to Pokemon TCG, and at my shops, lots of casual people. Actually, shout out to Java. Java's down in North Carolina. I have a similar setup with him. Well, I first had the setup with him that I'm now starting with Beerskin on Friday. But I have Java stocked with 90 packs of every set from Sword Shield base to current. He sold more Pokemon Go over the past 2 years than PK and Ponga have combined, I want to say. It's close. It's pretty close. But I recently, the other day, he asked for a restock of 45 packs, half a 4 row of Pokemon Go, and I'm like, yes, please, thank you. Or yes, thank you. Take it from me. How's it going, DJ's Poke Center? Appreciate you, Poke Rescue NC. Hit that like button. Pandora showing your age, absolutely. So with that, I have 14 starred questions. I will I'll so nobody needs to see me full screen. Let me go to camera. Oh man, where? Hold on. Let me make sure. I need to make sure I don't show any of my spreadsheets that I can't show. I think the 2cam might show the collector app. Let me. Okay, so the 2cam is showing the collector app, which is fine. If we want to browse the collector app, we can browse it. You can see there was a 151 ETB case, 4 of them. These guys, booster boxes, Phantasmal Flames booster case. There's an Umbreon. But let's actually start, though. Let's get rid of this, and let's turn this on. We've got a couple binders here. Don't mind my roll of tape. Oh, man, how terrible is it going to be? We might just have to do collector because, like, I am not set up to show binders. But, like, there's a Moonbreon. I haven't even pulled it out. I didn't even verify what kind of condition it was in. But, yeah, let me see. We got a Moonbreon there. See, my camera's way up. My lighting is terrible. I'm going to have to pull it off the camera. So it's definitely off center. You can see from a mile away, it's a thin top border and it's a thick bottom border. But other than that, it's got a soft top left corner, I would say. No white on the back, but it looks like the corner just looks like it has a little something going on. It's definitely near mint. It's definitely near mint, but I don't think it's a 10. That's probably why I have it in my hand here raw. The guy that I bought the collection from, it does seem like he grades because there were a bunch of slabs. But yeah, there's Moonbreon. You see the Greninja, you see the Charizard, you see the Mega Dragonite from Ascended Heroes. You see the 151. Like there's a lot of good stuff. There's probably a dozen binders. This is like I don't even know what the theme, if there's a theme, rhyme, or reason for all of them. But I flipped through a few of them. There's some of the stuff. I guess we'll just flash the 2 binders quick, and then we'll kind of scroll the collector app. And I said while I was doing this, I was going to take some questions, and I have not yet done it. So have you heard of / used DealerNet? Didn't seem worth it from free trial. So one thing I'll say, there are so many new apps. There are so many new things popping up. Every week, there's another like collector-esque app. Every week, there's another Pokemon price. This says it's called the stock market for Pokemon cards. I'm slightly affiliated with Misprint, which when I hear stock market for Pokemon cards, the first thing I think of is Misprint. If you want to join, I know Ava personally, the CEO. She's running that through what's that startup thing? Through one of the incubator things. One of the company incubator things. Y Combinator, YC Combinator, something like that. But looks like there's probably like a bid-ask system. There's just so many sites. There's so many sites that I can't keep up. I had not heard of that one, but it's not surprising to hear of a new one. Are repairs, restorations on the rise? Aside from recent PokeTube, Drama, Grail, PSA 234s have been selling higher and quicker. Oh, one thing, one thing that's not surprising that's on the rise. So PSA, CGC, BGS, they all have rules that you can't clean your cards. You can't chemical your cards. Don't be dumb. Water's a chemical, blah, blah, blah. We all know the thing. They're creating rules that they can't enforce. It's frustrating. It's a frustrating thing when a company has rules in place that many people aren't following that they're benefiting from. So just a bunch of rainbows, a bunch of all different kinds of things. Topps cards, some random Topps cards. It's frustrating when they create a rule that they can't even validate, that they can't even, some big Crown Zenith cards there. They can't even, oh man, we got some XY breakthrough. That's my jam right there. All different kinds of stuff, all different eras, a little bit of generations. It's funny. I know the XY era stuff, the Sun and Moon better stuff better than I do the Mega Evolution and the Scarlet Violet era. You got some of the Shrouded Fable, Greninja box promos. You got some cool stuff in here. It's gonna be fun to tear through all these binders and preview some of these cards. But yeah, I'll move to the collector and I'll scroll. But yeah, it's just a frustrating spot that everyone's put in. Because the people that follow the rules, that follow and it's, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do here. So it's frustrating because like a year and a half ago, whenever that was, Nat Turner said, the line is very clear what is allowed and what is not allowed. It's not clear whatsoever. Sure, you can lick your finger and you can wipe it away. You can use a little bit of water on a Q-tip to wipe off some smudges, oil residue, foreign things, whatever. It's very clear and obvious that you can't trim a card, but removing gunk from a card seems fair play. The gunk is not meant to be there. You can remove the gunk. A couple years ago, I did it on a live stream. I removed some gunk off a first edition Charizard that I sent in, and that caused a slight bit of drama, different places. But anyways, all these waxes, all these different things, all these foreign substances that weren't on the card when they were produced that are being added to the card to improve the condition of the card. I don't like it, but generally speaking, I'm not a collector of high PSA grades in that fashion. I think grading is just inherently like overvalued relative to how I value it by the market. I think things like this over time can undermine the whole system. And it's weird though, because like in coins, they will restore your coins for you. In comics, they will restore your comics for you. In cards though, it's not allowed. But people do it and they don't get caught. So it's just this huge mess. I don't know what more to say on it. It's not that surprising that people are buying 6s to iron out creases to turn into 9s and 10s. I know people are doing that. I'm not doing that myself, but I know it's being done. It is what it is. I don't know what more I can say on that, but it's definitely more commonplace. I don't seek out the content, but on Instagram, on YouTube, sometimes the algorithm will throw something at me, and it's like a video with 30,000 views and it's 30,000 subscribers, and you go to their page and all they do, 30,000 followers on Instagram, all they do is restore cards. It's Yeah, it is what it is. There's money there, so there will be people there seeking that money, and incompetence abounds in the grading companies, and they have no ability to prevent it. So it's gonna happen. So old cert, no Kurt, new cert. People love the new certs, but like the fact is, a lot of the new low pop PSA 10s used to be PSA 8s and 9s in 2 certs, 4 certs, 1 cert, 0 certs, all these different things. There are people making six figures annually, buying PSA 2s through 6s, some even 7s, 8s, 9s, and turning them into a few grades higher because there's a lot of money to be had there. It is what it is. So scrolling through, I don't know if you want this bigger. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I guess we don't need to necessarily see the price because a lot of it, like, we probably have an idea of what the price is of this stuff. But yeah, let me it is sorted by price. So like 151 ETB case, it calls it 5,100. I think it's a little bit higher than that. A lot of these things are booming pretty crazy. We got 4 of these guys booster boxes. We got a Phantasmal Flames booster case. We got the Umbreon that you saw, 151 booster bundle display. We've got Surging Sparks booster box case, 2 of them. We got Prismatic ETB case, all kinds of great stuff, all kinds of variety. You saw some singles there. I don't have the slabs with me right now, but some of these collectors weird. Like some of these are slabs, some of these are singles. But yeah, continuing to scroll, you got booster bundle displays, Paldean Face, love to see that. Stellar Crown booster box case, 151 PC ETB, 4 of them. So basically like an open case worth. I like one of the main things you'll see, Pokemon Center ETBs are all over this collection. It's absolutely crazy. Again, I answered that one. What are your thoughts on Chaos Rising? It is the best set of all time. Starting next Friday when it comes out, it is the best set of all time until the next best set of all time comes out. Ascended Heroes is also the best set of all time. 2 things are the best set of all time. 1, the newest set, and then 2, the set that's being ripped the most day by day on the live streams. I think Chaos Rising, for the day of release and maybe the day after release, maybe 2 days after release, it will be our best-selling set on Fanatics Live. 3 days after release, I think it will go back to Ascended Heroes. I could be wrong there, but that's my thoughts. I don't think it's big enough to take the crown from Ascended Heroes for more than a couple days. My Little Pony's booming, apparently. Should I sell Pony Chew? Booming or not booming, this is not advice towards you, but I would have sold the Pony Chew long ago. I could be misremembering. Didn't you get some obscene offer last boom from the Pony Chew? I mean, opportunity cost of holding that 1 of 1 pony. What are we doing, Basic Trainer? But Basic Trainer, lovely to see the name back in chats. I know I saw you last week. I think I saw you even a few weeks prior. I know we chatted a little bit here and there. Great to see Basic Trainer back in the hobby, back in the space. We're booming, so Basic comes back out. ETB case, Celebrations UPCs. You got the Rayquaza, you got the Greninja, you got the PSA 8. So the Great Felt hat. Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere here, but this is a PSA 8. I'll probably crack it out. Mega Charizard UPCs. I know there's regular Charizard UPCs, 151 UPCs, 7 of them, $1,000 Pokemon 151 UPC, Stellar Crown ETB case, Lost Origin booster boxes. We got tons of PC ETBs. Obsidian Flames PC ETB is $742. Is that collector just destroying me? And I think somebody already asked, but I'll talk about it more if people care to. I'm gonna look up. So there is no app that is perfect. There is no app that is perfect. But shout out to Collector. I buy collections all the time based off collector value. It's a little scary. So if I go on to TCG Player right now, Obsidian Flame, the buy box, PC ETB is $785. Looks like, oh man, it's like a straight line up. So in February there were 500, and then today they're 700. It's just a straight line up. But low list is $785. Last sold is $770. Market is $693. So collector calls it $742. Some of them are high, some of them are low. Given that I was spending $124,000, I went through. I spent a good half an hour auditing like TCG Player versus eBay versus collector. I went through, did my due diligence. Some things are high, some things are low, some things are just right. And overall, it's close enough. Overall, it's close enough. It feels a little bit high on average overall. So I paid 80% across the board on everything you see. And we'll scroll down. So there's a Mewtwo V-Star. There's a raw one and a PSA 10 one. Forbidden Light ETB, a little bit of Sun and Moon XY action, 2 Destined Rivals booster boxes. I saw somebody talking about $700 Destined Rivals. I don't know if that's real or not. These were called 641 here. Crown Zenith PC ETB pluses. I love Crown Zenith. ETB pluses, special ETBs, Pokemon Center ETBs were what got me out of collecting ETBs, because I'm not a variant guy. But my son loves Lucario. His favorite Pokemon's Lucario. Shout out to Tennis Wolf. I still have it on my desk here, a bunch of Lucario cards you sent recently in some shipments for my son, his collection. I'm probably going to keep one of each sealed product that has ever had Lucario on it. Please, oh, please don't tell me that there's been any Diamond and Pearl booster boxes with Lucario on them. Almost certainly there would have been. But any of the ones since my son's been alive, anything in the past 8 years that has Lucario on it, your Crown Zenith ETBs, there's some Mega Evolution product with Lucario on it. I want to build a little sealed PC of like Lucario stuff on behalf of my son. Paldean Fates PC ETBs, $620 a piece, or $610 a piece. That was the Crown Zenith. Evolving ETBs, Charizard UPCs, Crown Zenith figure collections, all different kinds of crazy things. Prismatic PC ETBs, Fusion Strike PC ETBs, all different kinds of stuff. It's a wild collection. Did I buy Lorcana? I didn't know. I don't know if the Lorcana was omitted or not, but apparently there's some Lorcana in there. A couple Japanese 151 booster boxes, all different kinds of crazy stuff. With that, I think the point is understood. I've only scrolled so far to get down to the $150 items. I'm not going to scroll through I guess if people want to pause, if people want to really see, there is like, I'm down to the $15 singles now. It is thorough. It runs deep. But yeah, let me go back full screen. If people want to bounce back to that, we can. But let me come back full screen and let me get back into the questions. But yeah, the total value was, well, I paid 124, so 124 over 0.8. The total value is 155. Actually, by the time we got the deal done, they drove from across the country. It was a multi-day trek, and the collector list went up a few grand. But the way that I do deals too, it's funny because like it's not funny, it's frustrating. These individuals, I didn't get I didn't ask to share names, so I'm not going to share names. But these people were great. The collector list drifted up some, and they didn't say anything. I've had people where I lock a deal and they ship it to me, and 4 days later it's up like $200, and they're like, "Oh, well, are you going to pay me 80% of the $200 that it's up?" No, I'm not going to take away 80%. I'm not going to take away 80% of $200 if it goes down either. And right now we're booming. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, all around. I've bought a 10K slab at 85% of market, and by the time it got to me, a new comp came in from an auction or whatever, and it was $7,000. I take it on the chin when it goes the wrong way, and I take it when it goes the right way for me. But that's one thing I've been asked multiple times. When the deal is done, the deal is done. Like we lock on a price, we sign on the dotted line, no actual contract there, but all the email exchanges, like it basically serves as a contract. Thoughts on Robinhood Gold Card, 3% back, but reports of strict usage. I used to play a little bit of the credit card churning game and rewards, and like I don't bother with that anymore. It goes back into like I can make good money doing business in my stuff. I could probably make $5,000 more a year spending an hour or two a week screwing around with credit cards and this and that and this account and opening this and moving there. I'm just gonna like stick my head down and stick with Pokemon and make an extra $20,000 in Pokemon because I know what the hell I'm doing. So like I have a City Double Cash and I have a Chase Business Inc. Premier whatever, and I have an Amex thing that gives me 5% on Amazon. But beyond that, I'm just not in a spot where like it's worthwhile to try to optimize further my accounts or my percentages or my credit cards or anything. Similar to convos last week, at what percent buy trade value does it become scammy? 10, 20, 50. I'm very much like live and let live. Context matters, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of considerations. Oh, no way. I just got the Bandos pet. I don't know if Peak is still here. I just saw a pop-up on my screen. I'm like, Bandos Hill, is it the Tassets? I literally just got the Bandos pet. I'm going to tell you out of here. And that is amazing. I'm going to set up camp at a different pet now, at a different boss now. let me see if anyone. Yeah. Oh wait, did somebody else get a? Oh yeah, somebody else got a pet too in the clan chat. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Sorry for the intermission here, but I'm going to teleport back to. I'm going to go to Krill now. I'm going to go to Zammy and see if I get the Zammy pet. But I got the Bandos pet. That's awesome. I did not expect for that to happen. One in is it one in 5,000 for the 281 kill count. 1 in 5,000 pet, I believe. That's crazy. But yeah, I depending on what it is, but like everyone is spoiled right now in the Pokemon market. Years ago, I bought some collections at 50, 60%, 70%, depending on what they were. It's a lot of work. You buy what this van was today 10 years ago would have been like 10 or 15 grand. That's a lot of work, especially back then. Now it's not quite as much in consignments and all these different things. It's some amount of work. It's some amount of risk. There's something to be said about the riskless cash in hand. They drove a van to me. I gave them $124,000 in mostly cashier's check cashier's check, whatever you want to call them, bank check, and they walk away. They fly in a plane away, and their hands are washed of it. The market could tank 30% tomorrow, and I could lose money. They could have shipped it to me, and things could have been lost. They could have shipped it to a consignor, things could have been lost, damaged, whatever. They just walk away, having gotten 80%. They didn't have to build any experience, any expertise in selling, creating the relationships, the connections, anything like that. They don't have to wait 2 months. They have the money today. So I think 10, 20, 50%, yes, they're quite bad. But like I was joking earlier, someone talked about selling me a MetaZoo collection. It depends on liquidity. It depends on my liquidity, my cash flow. It depends on a multitude of things. The biggest thing that I don't think is fair, if I say, I'm going to give you 50%, and that's the best anyone's going to give you. If I just outright lie, that's lying, cheating, stealing. That's all bad. Lying, cheating, stealing, bad. But if you as an adult offer 70% of market to somebody else as an adult, and you don't do any upsell, you don't do any sales pressuring tactics, if they just decide to sell to you and accept your offer for 70%, whether you're paying cash or friends and family, or maybe there's some attractive nature due to who you are, what you're doing, that they want to sell to you. It's all fair game, in my opinion. That said, the lowest that I've ever paid on anything in the past 2 years or a year and a half, 70% probably. And no, 60% actually. Pokemon Go. There was somebody with several thousand packs of Pokemon Go, and they sold some. I don't want to call out other people's names, other people's business. They sold some to other people that I know. Actually, I talked about this back a year or two ago when it happened. Shout out to Old School Pokemon. He was buying a couple thousand packs from them. He's like, hey, Dan, I don't want all that this guy has. Do you want some? And I know a couple of our other buddies got some too. At like 60% of market. He set the price. I paid it. If nobody's lying, cheating, and stealing, and both parties leave happy, it's all fair play, in my opinion. I see there's tons of new questions. Yeah, Peak is still here. I did want to see if there was any commentary on the pets. So I looked over at my screen. I still had Prey Melee up. I didn't go to Prey Mage for Krill, and I perished. So sorry, little baby Bandos pet. He's already you can reclaim for free, but my little baby Bandos already has left me. I already died. That's so funny. I'm going to quickly regear. I'm quickly going to last destination to Krill. I'm going to make sure my quick pray is set to Prey Mage now, which I have survived a long time at Krill with Prey Mage up properly. So I'm back at Krill now. There we go. Okay, we're back on Krill now. We just got Bandos pet live reaction. This stream has to go viral now. Yeah. Oh man, I looked over and it's like, collection log. I already had all the it didn't even process in my brain. I saw something happen. And I looked over. It's like collection log. I already had the hilt. I already had all the god. Like I've already got all the god swords aside from the ancient one. So excited because that's like one. Like if you get 100 kills an hour, which is probably not even that. That's 50 hours to go on rate for the Bandos pet. It's not active. I'm not actually killing the boss. That's an entire work week. That's an entire work week of having it on my side monitor, and you have a 63% of getting it by rate. So yeah, that was Wave Rainbow GZ. We got a lot of scapers out there. I love to see it. But yeah, I'm going to star up more questions, and then I will go back from my my RuneScape pause, and then we will caps lock so hard I shift for lowercase. That's hilarious. Oh man. So I'm starring more things, and then I'll go back to not sure if Hot Singles TCG is still in the chat, but the Robinhood Gold card is great. They do monitor it pretty strictly, though, and they will reduce you cashback percentage to 1% if they think you're using it for business. See, that's the thing. Like, if I'm violating the terms of service or something, to be honest, like, I 5 years ago, I used to spend more on my credit cards than I spend today. Most of my buys today are Zelle, ACH, Friends and Family, Wire, Certified Check, Cash. Most deals that I make today, that's why I got the line of credit. I have, between all my credit cards, I have about $200,000 across all my credit card limits. But I can't go and buy that $124,000 collection today. I can't swipe my credit card. They don't want that. I don't want that. The 3% fees, whatever. All the best deals are cash and cash equivalents. So it's not even that relevant to me. I might only, and only is obviously a very relative term. I might only spend $100 grand on my credit cards. That's excluding my distros. The only reason I exclude my distros is because they have a 2% credit card fee. So I use my 2% rewards card, and it's a wash. So like I do get a decent amount of money from that, but it's just washing away the credit card fee. Which link on your website shows the boxes you use to ship bulk packs? So I don't know if it's on my site, but 16 by 14 by 10. I'm in upstate New York. So the eBay seller is 3RB. I'll type it in chat right now. They're in like Liverpool. They're like an hour from me. So 3RB is who I buy from, just because they're so close and they get to me like the next day. But I buy 16 by 14 by 10 boxes, and they fit 2 4 rows. Each 4 row fits 360 packs. So I shipped 15,000 packs, and it was like what does that work out to? 16,000 divided by 720. It was 22 boxes. So it was 22 boxes of 720 packs each. They fit very nice and clean. You can put a little bit of packing paper around the sides and the top. Not very much is needed. None is really needed, but you can put some if you want to. Oh, the vertical is there, but the vertical, like if you're watching, if you can't see my hands right now, you are watching in the vertical mode. Now you can see my hands. I'm also horizontal. Like the horizontal viewers can see my hands now. I'm waving at them. The vertical viewers, they could not see me wave at them. Migrate over to the horizontal one if the vertical one is not working for you. It's there, so I use it. Maybe I'll stop using it someday, but for right now, I am using it. Let me get this krill pet. I need to see that collection log pop up again. Do you think X, Y, and Sun and Moon era boxes have another run in them this year? I have no clue. I'm more the era that I'm most bullish on. And actually, one thing that I forgot to do earlier on. So I'm shouting him out with this shirt. Shout out to Nostalgianomics. This is one of the OG shirts. I think this is the first shirt that he offered. But the reason that I got that 124K collection buy today was because he passed them along to me. So a viewer of his reached out and they said, "Hey, I have this massive collection. Do you wanna buy it?" He just wasn't interested in it at the time, cash flow, whatever it was. Alex was like, "Hey, hit up my buddy Dan. He might buy the whole thing." And what do you know? I ended up buying the whole thing. So shout out to Alex. I owe him a dinner the next time we meet up, maybe a little bit of barbecue if I go to Kansas City CollectCon someday. I think that's the only one that he frequents these days. But yeah, appreciate Alex shooting that one over to me. Where did oh yeah, the reason that I talked about Alex and then it prompted me to shout him out for the hookup, the reference, is so he's currently very bullish on SV era. He's going heavy into SV era. I similarly, so the two things I like most, I like Prismatic Evolutions. I wish I could get it cheaper, but it's at the time where I like Prismatic Evolutions a lot right now. And then another thing that I like a lot right now, Sword Shield. Alex is more Scarlet Violet in general. I'm more Sword Shield. We're both talk, but we're both walk too. We're putting our money where our mouths are. And I just, if I thought they were better, if I thought X, Y, and Sun and Moon were better, I would have more money in them. I have one Sun Moon base case that I bought a while ago because somebody offered it to me 80%, so I bought it. But I'm not like heavy into either of them. I do have a decent amount of loose packs and collection boxes and different things. I love the eras, XY eras when I got back in, but they might not. But I don't like them as much as Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon and Prismatic Evolutions. And I'm starting more things. Thrifty, why are you not on the Off-Centered pod? I was watching that a little bit earlier before I went live, and Thrifty was absent. You had Radar, Squeaks, and Mason, but no Thrifty. But yeah, like I love that old certs are the best because they're not altered, and then new certs are the best because they're the cleanest, and all like it's hilarious. All these different things. 125K cheap. This is a whale of whale right here. If you guys don't know and you don't follow Missouri MTG, if you're anywhere near the Missouri area, he cashes out Magic collections all the time. Missouri MTG in the name, does some Pokemon and stuff as well, I believe. But man, a whale of whales, always doing massive business. I've bought from him a couple times, and yeah, he's doing big things in the space, in the cardboard space all the time. I did not sell all my Evolving Skies. Actually, if you watch my pallet video Monday, 2 Evolving Skies cases, I tripled down. So I had 1 Evolving Skies case on pallets 1 through 3. 2 Evolving Skies cases went on pallet 4. So we're in chat to where I got the pet. I'm gonna start more things. Oh, here we go. We got a warehouse worker here. I use 16 by 14 by 10s pretty religiously at the warehouse. 19 by 13 by 13 are great for 4 booster cases. See, I use 20 by 12 by 12, but I have seen 19. I've seen 18 by 12 by 12. One thing you have to watch out for is some box manufacturers use outside dimensions and some use inside dimensions. And then there's always wiggle room. There's always tolerance. So you might buy the same supplier, the same seller of boxes, and one time they fit perfectly. And then the next time the boxes are stuck out of the top by a 1/4 inch, and you got to fold over and you got to cover that section in the middle because the 2 flaps don't meet. But yeah, 20 by 12 by 12, 18 by 16 by 14, 2 ETB cases, 20 by 12 by 12, 4 booster cases, and then 16 by 14 by 10, 2 4-0s, a lot of different things you can fit in them. But those are the main ones I use. Appreciate you. So long line of questions, 11 starred questions right now. But if you want to jump the line, just like CPTHN Solo did, $5 super chat, appreciate you. Overall ripping volume is down 50% this year compared to last, but could you expound on that? E.g. more digital rips now, declining rippership demand, etc. So again, anecdotal. There's a guy in chat, EXP Share. He sells Pokemon Go. Me personally, we've sold 9 Pokemon Go packs this year. We do not sell Pokemon Go. We only sold a couple hundred all of last year. But yeah, last year, and this is English only. I know PK Ponga, they always say, oh, Dan only counts, like the way my sheet works, I count Japanese by boxes. I count Chinese by boxes. We don't open overall a lot of Japanese or Chinese. When a set newly comes out, we rip a bunch of the new Japanese, Chinese sets right when they come out, and then they really slow down for the most part. But yeah, we ripped 180,000 English packs last year with Japanese, with Chinese, probably 200,000 packs. This year, Q1, we ripped about 25,000 packs. So we're on pace for the year to do about 100,000 packs, which is nearly a 50% drop from last year. But our GMV is not dropping. Our GMV is actually increasing. Some of that is explained by instant rips. So if anyone's unfamiliar, and again, I guess I'll use this here. Shout out to Nostalgianomics. I saw him earlier on Instagram. He's actually coming to the Fanatics Live platform to do some digital rips, to do some instant rips. He's out there doing Galaxy Grails over on YouTube on the Galaxy Grails website. He's doing Fanatics Live coming up sometime soon. Fanatics has some interesting updates coming, which I'll talk about more when we get there. But I think Alex is going to be involved in them as well. But yeah, we a large part of the sales are going to instant rips now, and another large part too. So last year, from January to May, January to this time, we ripped every booster box, WotC, base through Team Rocket. In May, we ripped Team Rocket, and then the boxes started to get too expensive. 1, because of the era, 1, because of the set that we were going to, and then 2, because the prices were just rising throughout the year. But we got out of kind of doing the mega streams, and then come December, we started doing like, hey, once or now twice a month, let's drop 100K in dollar auctions. Let's go big once or twice a month. And so what we've been doing, and there's not like, hopefully there's not a fixed amount of buyers on Fanatics, but for our like regulars, for our regular buyers, there's some amount of like a relatively fixed budget that they have, right, to spend. So if once a month, two times a month, they're spending 50, 100 grand in mega streams, the other streams to some extent kind of feel that. And hopefully through the changes Fanatics Live is making next month, hopefully through adding Alex and bringing potentially other influencers, streamers, people in, hopefully they can grow the platform. Well, one thing I'll say, I don't have exact numbers, I don't have exact metrics to share, but anyone who's been paying attention over the past year, Whatnot is growing rapidly. eBay Live has grown massively. Props to Nick for getting in. Nick got in a little bit too early, maybe. His first 2 years on eBay Live were pretty dark. It was pretty flat. It was pretty, eBay didn't seem to be doing too much. But now GameStop's out here trying to buy eBay. I'm sure somebody will ask about that at some point tonight. eBay Live, the viewership has massively increased over the past year. Fanatics, not tons. Relative, like again, I don't know if I can say it's flat. Maybe it's slightly up, but it's not increased in the depth or the breadth. The number of streamers like eBay has. eBay has very publicly, visibly, anyone can see it that's been here for the past year. eBay has definitely outgrown Fanatics Live over the past year. And hopefully Fanatics will do something to revert that. But yeah, to some extent, it's potentially speaking to Fanatics as a platform to some extent, potentially speaking to us as a seller on the platform to some extent, potentially speaking to Instant Rips and the mega streams kind of dividing the dollars, dividing the attention. There's a lot of different aspects to that. But yeah, that hopefully that covers it. Appreciate the super chat. That but all that said, we are still doing big things. PK is still live 96 times a week, and Ponga's live quite a bit as well. Bierski's live a few times doing Instant Rips. Like Fanatics Live, we are kind of like a bigger fish in a smaller pond when it comes to Fanatics Live. The platform is doing what it's doing, but like we're growing our numbers on the platform. So I'm definitely still happy with that segment of the business for sure. I'm starting more questions. So I have 12 started questions. As always, I'm going to catch my breath. I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to check if I have the krill pet, which I do not. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. 8 figures is happening this year for sure. Talked about it earlier, but between paying the streamers, paying the consigners, paying everything, it's like there are some weeks where there's nearly 400 or 500K flowing through the Catch 'em All Collectibles business account. It's absolutely wild the extent to which we're booming out here. I'm so excited for everything that is going on in the space, for everyone that I'm interacting with in the space. Let me shout out all the independent contractors. Had them over here personally, only a little over a month ago. It feels like forever ago in this boom. But PK, Ponga, Bierski, start with the Fanatics Live guys, and then again Bierski gets called twice. He'll get called 3 times. So Bierski fits in a lot of the buckets of Catch 'em All Collectibles. Fanatics Live, there's PK, Ponga, Bierski. eBay Live is Grimer Spat, Bierski, and then the LGS scene that I help facilitate to some extent. So I have a relationship with Java Akuma. Shout out to Java. He's down in North Carolina. I always forget the town that he's in. It's one of the sports towns. I'm gonna Google it quick. Wake Forest. Yeah. I knew it's one of those teams that's always in the Final Four brackets for March Madness. Not Final Four, but in the March Madness pools. Wake Forest, North Carolina. So and then Java and Bierski are in the LGS buckets. So my deal with Java is that I send him packs, the same packs that PK and Ponga have stocked on eBay Live. I send him every set from Sword Shield base to current. He has all those in stock all the time, which honestly, I've had this conversation with him, with Bierski, with a lot of other people. I've gone to 20 LGSs at this point in the past few months, doing a little bit of market research, whatever. And there's probably, out of 20 LGSs that I've gone to, I don't think there's one that had more than 15 sets available. And we have like 30. I say they have like 30 facilitated by me. But the way Java runs his shop is he does all the singles and slabs, and he does all the different seal that he gets in. He does a little bit of everything. But like the packs are essentially on consignment from me, and he sells them. So no risk to him, no capital risk to him. He has all this product offering that tons of people want, and it's no capital risk to him, no cash flow detriment to him, and he just gets a risk-free percentage every time they sell. And then sometimes I'm sure people buy, they rip, they get the hit, and they sell it back to him. So it's like he's doing well, double dipping, triple dipping all around from that. I'm doing well too. It's very much a win-win relationship, which I love creating with the homies. And then Bierski, similar relationship, a little bit deeper with some of the different sealed offerings that I brought. The minivan. If you were there last week, you saw all the stuff. I brought a lot of sealed. But yeah, Bierski is in the Fanatics bucket, the eBay bucket, and the LGS bucket. So he's triple dipping the Catch 'em All Collectibles buckets. You love to see it. Very bullish on Bierski. All the ones that I mentioned. Then you've also got Skya doing the TCG player, the eBay, all the different things. And then the podcast co-host, you got Nick. Then you got the Pokenomics Patreon co-host, co-owner, Patreon, whatever you want to call that. You got Jake over there doing business with a lot of different people in the space, and very much love it. Then you got your retrospect. I'm just doing all the shout outs now. When I do so many, I'm going to forget somebody. The Japanese product, you got Retro. The Chinese product, you got Steve. You got Sealed Chiz Consignments, now doing slabs. You got ZNG Emporium over there. I'm the Fanatics guy. They're the eBay guys. Go hit them. You got Cam at Golden doing big things over there. You got DC Sports, all the different things. So many segments of the business. At some point, I'm going to make an updated video on like where and why and how. Like of this $124,000 collection, how do I decide what goes where and why and when and how? And so I will. This might get its own video. One thing that I was talking about a little bit today. I wish I had the space, and later this year I will have the space. If I could just so right now where the minivan full of product sits is on one singular pallet in my garage. I don't have much space. So like tomorrow I'm going to not fill, but I'll quarter fill the SUV, and I'm going to UPS and I'm going to USPS. Some of that stuff's going right to PK, right to Ponga, right to Bierski, right to DC, right to Golden. A lot of that stuff is gone tomorrow because it has to be. Once I get my new space, once I get my new warehouse space, this pallet would go into the warehouse. Boom. And it would be amazing because I would literally be able to I would be able to just like pallet off a big truck, off a trailer, pallet stacker off, boom, into the thing. It'll get spread out. I could do a video. I could go through. I could walk to this pallet, this shelf. I could show you these. The UPCs. Like I don't have to just scroll a collector list. I could show you all the stuff and do a video, and I could show you here's the Golden area and here's the DC area, and this is why. I'll be able to do that in a video, but it'll be a spreadsheet. It'll be more boring. It'll be just me in a spreadsheet and you guys listening, and it would be cooler if you were physically like Brian. I think of Brian. I think of Pokey his whole big basement operation. He hasn't made that style video in a while, but like he used to show, he used to record and then speed it up 2x and then do a voiceover of like, here's me putting this in that box and this is why. And I send this type of item here because this reason and that reason. And hey, I have 50 of that item. So 10 of them go to Greenie and some go to PK and some go to Gopanga and some go to Bierski and some go to Golden. And this is why I do that. I could talk you through better and show you as I did it, how I pack things. This is how I pack cases. This is how I pack ETBs. This is how I pack a little bit of everything. It would be cool. But I don't have the space. I don't have the ability to do that kind of stuff. Starring questions as I go. Collector is great. Collector is great. You were just at the bottom of the chat. Appreciate the stop sign. So you got jumped to the front. Collector list is great. It's not perfect, but I will sanity check it. I will go through. I will offer you some percentage of your collector list for sure. It's imperfect, but they're all imperfect. Question: when you're submitting cards to the different grading companies, CGC, BGS, PSA, how are you deciding which cards to send to each one? So perfectly timed question, because I was just talking about like the items that I send to each consigner and why, and to each streamer and to each. Some of it is by like feels. In generally speaking, send to the one that will give you the biggest number. So the biggest number in the hobby, 10 is not 10. The biggest number in the hobby is Black Label, by far. Black Label's up here. If you think you have a reasonable shot on Black Label, some things go to Beckett. But cost and risk and the 9.5 sucks, all that stuff. There's a lot of layers to it. I still can't believe I got that Bando's pet. But the cream of the crop is BGS 10. Generally speaking, CGC Pristine, then PSA Gemmint 10, and then a long so Black Label down to CGC Pristine is a big jump. Certain cards barely even get a CGC 10 Pristine Premium over the PSA 10. But PSA is like the easiest 10 to get amongst those three, generally speaking, for most cards. So if they have a reasonable likelihood of achieving that grade, they go to the best company, the best grade that they can get. But if I think the card is gonna PSA 9, but it might CGC 10, well, 10 is bigger than 9, so I'm gonna go to CGC. But that said, I also offer a service where let me do a little bit of self promo because it naturally fit in. So if you want to grade with CGC, $8.50 a card, and these are the percentage fees depending on the value. I listed cards earlier today that go live tomorrow for my consigners that they sent in 2.5 weeks ago. There are still some that are not graded from 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago because first in, F off is the joke that I've made. None of these grading card companies will use first in, first out, and it's kind of infuriating, but it is what it is. But anyway, sometimes they're graded as quick as 3 weeks. Sometimes they take 5 weeks, 6 weeks, but 4 weeks. 4 weeks is what I say. $8.50 a card, and then auction them on Fanatics, and you send cards, you deposit cards, and you get cash. It's a great thing. 90% of the cards, most of these cards will go to CGC. The ones that don't get graded, most will go to PK and Ponga for the eBay Live and Fanatics live streams. And that's consuming all of them. So they'll go to one of those two. A little bit. Something that I need to do more of that I've done some. Again, shout out to Skya. He runs my TCG player on my eBay. So if they're not best for CGC Fanatics or PSA or BGS, some go to PSA, some go to Ponga, some go to PK, and then some go to Skya as well. And other than that, that's where they all go. I do have some backlog. I do set some back sometimes from time to time, but like a lot of it's vibes and feel that I've established over the past decade, 12 years. And a lot of that's ebbing and flowing over time. So yeah. And if I get 100 of a card, the illustration first partner promos, they went kind of everywhere. If I have 1 million of a card, they go a little bit everywhere. Kind of like same thing I do with sealed product. Do you ever limit how many packs of a certain set you buy? Example, if someone showed up with 5K perfect order packs, would you take them all? So the way that I do that is if somebody hit me with 5K perfect order packs tomorrow and they wanted me to take them all, I'd probably be at 70% flat. And I would offer 70%, maybe even 65%, and I would hope they said no. So yes, I remember a year ago, and it's painful to say it, but a year ago, like not more than a year ago, I had 151 on my hot buy list for $9 a pack. I had a botter reach out to me because something had recently hit Costco or Walmart or Target or whatever. I had a botter hit me offering me 15,000 packs, if I remember correctly, maybe 20,000, maybe I don't remember, 15,000-ish packs. It would have been over $100,000, which hindsight would have been great. I only took 5,000. So there are times where people say, hey, I've got 5,000 of this. I'm like, I will honor my hot buy list price. I will take the first 2,000 at the $9 I offered. But then if you want to sell me more, I'm capped out for the week. I'll take them at 70%, 75%, whatever it is, depending on the set. But there's times, like if you hit me, depending on the thing, there's times where my hot buy list is 925. And you're like, hey, Dan, I got 5,000, but I need 950. There's times where I go slightly above my hot buy list to lock in large quantity. If it's on my hot buy list, I really need it. So, yeah. It always depends to some extent. What would it take for you to feel bearish on your Pokemon investments? I talked about it a little bit in my video Monday, but like it's a little concerning that my pack ripping quantities have fallen this year relative to last year. But you know what I've done? I've adjusted, and I have reasonable data to say, like, I don't think it's us. I don't think it's necessarily just us or the platform or anything like that. I think it's I think it's partially the fact that we're selling so many instant rips. I think it's partially the fact that we're doing the mega streams and all that. But because we're selling less packs, you know what I'm doing? I'm lowering the amount of packs that we have. Between me and the guys, right now, there were a lot of times last year where we had over 100,000 packs between me, PK, Ponga, and the pallets and all that stuff. Between everything, I'm closer to 50 or 60,000 packs now. I have about 6 months worth of inventory of packs. And yeah, so I saw that the packs were slowing down to some extent. I run my inventory a little bit tighter. I run it a little bit leaner because we're just selling less. So, but yeah, I would feel bad about the investments if the pack sales fell and something wasn't taking their place. Instant rips fell off a cliff, and live streams fell off a cliff, and the percentages went down. And one thing that would scare me when it comes to the pallets is if everyone's investing and the price of a box is $700, and I'm getting collection offers every day of like, hey, take my $700 boxes, take my $700 boxes, and no one on the stream is ripping packs, and the pops are low, and the pops are low for cards because no one's ripping the product. It would scare me if everyone started investing. For 12 years I've been in the hobby, there's been so many people that said everyone's investing. To some extent, like, I've thought that to be true, and to an extent it is true. It's just what percent of people are investing versus collecting, consuming, all that stuff. Like there's an ebb and flow, and over the past 12 years, there are times that I've been a little bit scared that, like, hey, future investment returns are not going to be amazing because too many people are investing. I've always thought that to be true to some extent, but clearly thus far, not too bad. But like, if that changes in the coming year, I think alarm bells will sound, and I'll be out here live on YouTube, probably talking about it to some extent. Destin at 700 a year in seems so scary, yet so safe long, medium term, since it's no doubt better than Fusion Strike. I'm starting to monthly DCA now. Me personally, I have my 4 cases on the pallet. I bought some today at 80%. I'll buy it at 80%, but I like everything. I like everything more than Destin at 700. I could be wrong, and one of the points I made a year ago about my takes 8 months, 10 months, 12 months a year ago. I shunned Destin Ravels at 250. I sold all my Destin Ravels allocation, aside from 4 cases for the pallet. I sold between 250 and 300 a box. Hindsight, it's up over 2x. Oh, it doesn't feel great, right? It kind of sucks. But what did I buy? What did I buy? The number one thing that I bought this time last year when I was selling my Destin for 250 to 300 was $9 151 packs. It was UPCs for whatever they were going for. It was booster bundles for whatever they were going for. Most of what I bought primarily outperformed Destin Rivals. So, like, I don't feel amazing that I don't have more, but also most of what I was buying at the time, not everything, but most of what I was buying outperformed. So that's all you can do. Like, you're never going to get them all. I like most things more than $700 Destin Rivals. What's the video about this coming Monday? So I talked about the pallet Monday. I'm going to talk about the pallet again on Monday, but in a different way. I'm going to kind of talk about why I put what I put there. I'm going to start talking about pallet 5, which wasn't talked about at all in my video Monday. So what I almost did the Dan thing. I almost made an hour-long video for Monday, but it's like, you know what? I'm going to try to go a little bit more viral. One thing I forgot to do too, antiviral Dan. I had a note to do it, and then I didn't do it. But my YouTube channel 2 years ago, when I started the pallets, I had 5,500 subscribers. My YouTube subscription base has not doubled in the time that my pallet 4x'd. My pallet 4x'd and my sub count hasn't doubled. Invest in that like button today. Invest in that sub button today. Literally can't lose all your money. Can only go up from here. I was going to kind of make that joke towards the beginning of my video, make it a little more viral, make it a little punchier, sub 20 minutes, sub 30 minutes, which is a very not Dan thing. But I'm going to do it in my video this coming Monday. I already put it in the thing that I'm going to be showing. So, like, I'm not going to be able to forget it. In your opinion, what's a fair percentage to pay for raw gradable? It's PSA 7 and 9 WotC singles in this market. I mean, what is fair is what you, the buyer, and the seller agree to. There are probably some times where it's reasonable to pay 60%. There's probably some times where it's reasonable to pay 80%. There's probably someone out there paying 90%. Shout out to Spat, shout out to Grimer, shout out to Bierski. Those guys buy strong for their streams because they do well streaming and they do a little bit of grading, some of them. So yeah, hit up Spat, hit up Grimer, hit up Bierski. A lot of times they're paying 80, 85, 90%. Sometimes I'm paying 80% myself on a lot of that stuff. I at times I'll pay 85, 90% if I really need something. But like I just bought a $124,000 collection at 80% today. I have 2 more 6-figure collections in my inbox that might happen. Couple of weeks ago, I had a $500,000 collection that almost happened at 85%. And then I look into it deeper, and like his 85% was really closer to 90, 95% from what I was seeing. So it's like I skipped it, but like I can't really pay 85% on much personally because like I'm going broke buying at 80%. So yeah, don't go broke on good deals and then miss out on the great deals. All the things that I always say. Question, Dan, I need you to be real with me and tell me that Prismatic is a better set than Ascended. I personally, I think Ascended is better. I think Ascended is a better set build. But if I had to invest, speculate with money today over the 6-month to 1 year to 18-month time frame, Prismatic all day. Prismatic all day for me. I'm buying both packs for about 10-ish bucks a pack. 10, 11, 12, like depending on the day, the numbers go up and down. But yeah, I'm a much bigger fan of Prismatic today for the short, medium term. Short, medium term needs to be defined. The very short term, sub 1 year, medium term, 1-2 years, somewhere in there. I like Prismatic more. But 5-10 year time frame, which a lot of people think they're on a 5-10 year time frame and they'll be gone in 18 months or less. But I lean more Ascended over that long of a time period. But who knows? I know that I don't know. Do you prefer Lily's Clefairy from Ascended or Journey? I can picture both, but I cannot picture which one is which. I'm gonna admit that. So I'm gonna pull them both up on TCG Player. Lily's Clefairy. So there's Journey. Let me sort by high to low. I wonder if I have them both here. I think I like... See, I'm the worst guy for... Actually, I should just go to pkmncards.com and then I can share it. Will it look up a trainer's Lily's Clefairy? Yes. So I can pull this up. Let me do the thing. We're live. We're live, so why not do it? Share screen. Let me full screen it so you don't see all my tabs that are open with my streamers sheets. There we go. Should we do a poll? So we got Lily's Clefairy and Lily's Clefairy. We've got Ascended and we've got Journey. Let me oh no, I don't have my YouTube open. Let me get my YouTube open quick and run a poll. Your channel. I hope my volume is muted. Nope, it's not. So I'm going to start a poll. Which Lily's Clefairy Oh man, I cannot type right now. Which Lily's Clefairy? And then we're going to say JT or AH. We're going to start the poll. Before I see any early results of the poll, I am going to say I'm terrible at picking favorites. I think I like the Ascended one. I like it. Feels more vibrant. It's weird because I guess there's less going on because Clefairy is bigger. There's more flowers and stuff going on in the other one. But I don't know. I just like the feel of getting a nice warm hug from Lily there. Clefairy having a good time. I mean, they're both having a good time. They're both got the upside down U eyes going on. But yeah, I lean Ascended. Let me put my vote in too. Why does it not let me vote? Oh no, it put my vote in for Journey. I don't know why it does that. It seems like it always puts my vote in for the first poll result. I have a cheap commercial property nearby for lease. The reason it is cheap is because it neighbors an addiction treatment center. Probably not a great place for LGS, right? So I actually today as we speak, I bought a $124,000 collection. I also toured an LGS. So there's an old LGS that ran for decades near me, and it closed shop about a year ago. Both the store and the accounts are up for sale with it. I talked with the owner. Probably nothing will come of it. We're booming. You got to look into everything. Turn over, leave no stone unturned. Seek out all the opportunities that could potentially be there. But like that one's probably not going to pan out. If there was a Java within half an hour of me, if there was a Bierski within half an hour of me, something would probably be happening. I will never. I will say never here. I will never be the sole owner operator of an LGS. Well, see. The only exception to that, and honestly, it would be fair the way that I worded that. If my son or my daughter, 15 years from now, when they're older, out of high school, out of college, whatever, if they go, if one of my kids was like, Dad, my dream is to run a shop, and I could help run a shop with my kids and like make their dream happen, and like my dream is to help my kids' dreams come true and give them like the best life that I can give them. So like that would be the biggest exception for like me being deeply involved in an LGS. That is like the only way. But like I'm gonna be involved to some extent with Bierski's LGS. I'm gonna visit that a couple times a year. He might come visit me a time or two a year to come fill up his vehicle to bring things down to there. As long as he'll have me. I told him too, like, don't let me hold you back. I think early on he's trying something new, and me being able to take away some of his downside risk, me being able to provide the inventory and him not have to tie up all that cash flow, tie up all that liquidity, and get the risk-free percentage that he gets for selling my consignments, basically selling my sealed product. I told him, and same thing for Java too. If and when that relationship ever stops serving them, let me know and we can unwind it. The same thing goes for all the business relationships I have. It's like I want win-wins. If there's a future 2 years from now where Java's selling my packs and he feels like, hey, say the market turns and packs are just easy to get. Say that 2 years from now, his liquidity, his cash flow is just way higher, way better. He gets new connections. He's able to source them for himself. The minute that stops serving him and stops being a win-win, I want him to reach out and say like, hey, Dan, like, how can we change how this works? How can we unwind this? Whatever. Like, and same thing goes for Bierski too. But potentially there'll be more. It was Java first, and now it's Bierski, and maybe there'll be another one. Maybe there will be someone local to me. Maybe there will be a local young kid. I don't know if he's out there listening, graduating from college in a year. Maybe he'll want to open up with LGS. Maybe he'll hit up Dan. Maybe we'll wheel and deal. We'll talk. We'll figure something out, because I have capital. I have expertise and ability to source. I have relationships. I have platforms. I have a lot of things. But one thing I'm quite limited on is time. And one thing that I don't have either is like the drive to run, play, and to do all the different things. But that's so many people's dreams. That's so many people's dreams. And it's so good for the community to see where the community and the hobby, that's so good. Being a good presence, being a good LGS. And I visited a lot of them. And honestly, a lot of them don't do, in my opinion, a great job. You go in and they have no booster packs available. And the ones that they do have, $15 Destined Rivals booster packs or $20 Destined Rivals booster packs. It's like, sure, the sealed booster box is that, but you got this out of some random tin that you got from Distro. Like, not the whole MSRP scalping, blah, 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 but like at least be within like 120% of market or less. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of guys out there that, given the right opportunity, could crush an LGS. And if I can help provide that, that's amazing. And I want to do that more. Very carefully. I don't know if they had any kind of an insurance. I have speculations as to whether or not they did. Did they park? Did they have friends every 1,000 miles that they could park inside a garage? And I have no clue. I didn't really inquire deeply into that. Presumably a car alarm, presumably parking relatively close to where the window was on their thing. And maybe there was two of them taking shifts driving. Honestly, Maybe they did I think there are there's some like trucker couples out there where one will drive for 12 hours and the other will drive for 12 hours, or maybe you can only go 8 or 10 hours and you need to take a break. But whatever it is, 8-hour rolling shifts, stop, bathroom break, meal, change drivers, and go. Maybe they didn't stop. Maybe the passenger was always sleeping and the driver was always driving. I truly don't know the logistics. We chatted a bit while I unloaded the van, but didn't get too deeply into the logistics of that. Who has a better collection, Dan or Jake? I have a better one for me, and he has a better one for he. I think as far as like actual collection PC goes, inventory wise, we're probably in a similar vicinity. But like what he would call his PC versus what I would call my PC, his is way bigger for sure. When our 1999 to 2000 base PSA 10 is going to finally pop off, we need your wisdom. I sold so many. I graded so many and sold so many. I've been grading PSA 10, 1990 to 2000 base 10s since before they recognized the variant. I graded actually. It's painful. I graded probably 4 PSA 10 1999 to 2010 Charizards. I was buying the packs directly from Poland and pulling them myself. That was crazy, and I was doing well. I was doing well doing it. I sold the 10s for probably $1,000 back when the PSA 10 of the regular one was $600 or $700 or whatever. I remember back when base unlimited PSA 10 Charizard was $300, and what is it now, 30,000 or whatever. But it might tomorrow and it might never. I know that I was able to. That was the kind of item that I wasn't auctioning. That was the kind of item that I was doing buy now. I was able to get decent premiums to the PSA 10s of the regular ones. At least I kind of knew the people. I knew the people that were building sets of them, and I knew some of the higher end collectors that wanted them, and I was able to do like private deals with a bunch of them. So does Java opening an LGS without his own distribution? So did he open with the physical location hoping to get into a distro? So he opened with a physical location, and I don't like to speak for him. He's out there. Go chat with him at some point. But he opened knowing that he didn't fully need distro. I think distro was like an underlying goal, but it wasn't a necessity. He knew that he had packs helped facilitated through me. So he had some amount of sealed product. He knew that he had the ability to buy collections, get sealed product at 80%, sell to 100%, whatever, 70%, sell to 100%. And the distro was like always someday maybe, but I don't need to, but it would be great if I could. That's the way that I see it, at least. He sells singles and slabs. He sells my sealed packs, and then he has gotten into distro, and he gets a trickle of product here and there. So yeah, that's the way that I saw it go down. I'm going to start more questions, and then I will get back to the questions. Nothing goes to Beckett. No. Oh no, Katie with the terrible memes here. we do not shout out. I shouldn't have even put it on screen. We do not shout out Voldemort though. He who must not be named. Oh man. So I do. I mean, it all depends. So PSA is $30 a card, $25 or $30 a card, and it takes 6 months. CGC is $850 a card and takes 4 weeks. Cash flow, opportunity cost, those terms exist. They are relevant to any business. So yeah, depending on the card, depending on the thing, like I will grade with PSA to some extent, but for the most part, like I'm very happy to send most of what I have through CGC for various reasons. Cost, time being the two biggest ones. But PSA is the easiest grader. Yes, they are the easiest, highest grade. If you want a gold medal at PSA, their number one grade is a PSA 10 that is significantly easier, generally speaking, than the pristine 10 at CGC, than the black label 10 at BGS. Objective statement of fact. Dan, can you pat yourself on the back for something without any disclaimers, without any caveats? What are you proud of? What did I say that I caveated? I think I'm quite intelligent. I think I'm quite savvy with business. I think I'm quite savvy with like tax optimization and investing in personal finance. And I think I'm think I'm very good with all that. Do I think and this is where caveat disclaimer, I'm not 99 percentile in any of that, but I think being 90 plus percentile in a lot of those things, and I'm more, everyone always says jack of all trades, master of none, as like they say it as if it's like a bad thing. I pride myself on being a jack of all trades to some extent. I want to be really good. I want to be 80, 90th percentile on almost everything, which I think is achievable. You can't be 99.9 percentile on everything by any stretch of the imagination. Most people can be 99.9 percentile on something, but I'd rather be 90% on everything. And I think that's achievable for a relatively savvy, intelligent person. And I'm doing my best doing that. So I'm proud of that. Jack of all trades, master of none, often better than master of one. I think is the whole jack of all trades, master of none, better than a master of one. Yes. A lot of people cut off that last point, but I truly do think that jack of all trades, master of none is better than a master of one or even master of two or three. And honestly, I think I do have mastery in certain facets of the business as well, but I'm trying more for being a little bit in all facets. And I think I'm doing quite well. I think I can pat myself on the back for how I've done over the past 5 years full-time and the past 12 years part-time. Watermelons question mark. Oh man. How's it going, Grimer? I'm starring more things. Oh, this is where we were talking about Liz Clefairy. The Ascended Heroes one looks more vibrant in person. The coloring is better, hard to describe. So this is close. We have 53% on Ascended and 46% on Journey Together. I'll close the poll soon. Get your votes in. Let your voice be heard. My YouTube over here is like cropped very badly. It's not showing me the whole poll. Oh, there it is. So 52%. We only have 40 votes. Get out and make your voice heard. Come on, there's 127 people in here, and there's only 40 votes. Put your vote in. I'll end the poll soon. We'll see which Liz Clefairy reigns supreme. Dan, the LGS owner. Does buying the store require you buy their 7 figures worth of Funko Pops? So there was 3 different prices. There was the price with all of the fixtures, all of the inventory, and the distro account. There was the price with just the store, bare bones, no distro, no anything. And then there was the price with bare bones store with distro. And none of them really suit my needs or desires, I don't think. I think there's potential business to be done with the former LGS owner, soon to be former LGS owner. So I'm going to chat with him more. But yes, I always want to buy more. My DMs, email are always open. Tempt the bucket man. Yes. Fill my buckets. As a truck driver, I've driven across the country with several 100,000 in freight. They don't usually mandate nonstop delivery unless it's 1 mil plus or high theft rate. Harley Davidson parts. Interesting. Let's be real. They're the same card, basically. Katie Lowen's uncle or cousin or whatever she called him is in fact seems to not be Voldemort. I figured it was just a yes, it is your civil duty to vote in every YouTube live poll that is placed in front of you. We only got 4 more votes when I called for votes, but Ascended Heroes is winning. I like the outcome, so we're gonna stop the count right there. My choice won. I have the power. I'm closing the polls. Ascended Heroes wins 55 to 45. 44% voted out of 122. Sorry, 44 people voted out of 122. A 35% voter turnout rate. What are we doing, people? Come on. Pokemon, go to the polls. We're slacking out here. What are your thoughts on the Mew XY192 graded card? I own a CGC 10 and there are only 12. PSA has 16 in a 10 and none in the BGS. I'm not asking for an exact number. Where could this go? Your thoughts? Skywalker, the sky is the limit on some of these things. I think, let me look up XY192. I'm going to guess first. I'm not cheating. I'm typing it in, but I'm not searching it. XY192. Is that the Mew, the Mew Mewtwo premium figure collection? It came with a Mew and a Mewtwo. That XY era, that's my thing. That's my time. Oh no, it's not. I was wrong. I guessed the wrong one. So you can tell I didn't cheat because I got it wrong. but for anyone's benefit that wants to see it, that is the Mew that is being spoken of, XY192. It's a cool card. This did not come to memory. I was thinking of the full art ones from the premium figure collection. I don't know what numbers those were. My memory is failing me there. I think the Pikachu, the red blue collections, like the Charizard I have there, I think those are like XY210. Is the Pikachu, is it? Let me look up XY210 now. I'm failing my Poke knowledge here. No, XY210 is the Giovanni Gym badge. Let me look up Pikachu EX. What number was that card? I love those red blue collections. XY124, I was way off. This is the card. I was thinking, obviously, I wasn't thinking it was this, but I was thinking it was the set XY promos. Let me find the Mewtwo and Mew that I was thinking about. They must be right around that Pikachu, I would think. Where is that Pikachu? There's the Mythical Collection. Where is this Mew? This Mew must exist. It doesn't just exist in my dreams. There it is. So it is. It's numbered 2 numbers after the Pikachu EX I just showed you. And I know I'm not sharing the screen. I'm going to share it now. This is the Mew that I was thinking about. XY126 is what my mind went to when you said XY192. But I like this card a lot more. Twice the art, should be 200 times the money. But yeah, like what's the upside on a half art Mew promo? If the right guy wants it, 10 grand, 20 grand. Like, do I think it will go there? I don't even know what it is though. I don't even know what that card is today. Let me see if I can alt up a PSA 10 XY192. Is alt gonna fail me here? Let me type Mew. Ugh. But honestly, like one thing that talk versus walk, yada yada yada. If I have that card, I'm selling it. If I had that card 10 years ago, I would have sold it for its market price. If I had that card today, I would have sold it for its market price. I would gladly consign that card. I can't even find a comp. In an 8, it's in a 9, it's $450. It's probably a lot of money. It's probably a lot of money. In my opinion, it's probably way more money than it should be. But I'm just I'm a bear on plastic. I'm a bear on PSA's ability to discern the condition differences between 2 cards, and I think the market vastly overvalues their opinion. Here we go. I found it on alt. $12,000 estimated alt value. Last sold. I see a PSA 10 for $48.50 on November 3rd, November 2025. If I could put 12 grand into anything, I would put it almost anywhere except that Mew card, personally. I think it's a cool card. Give me the 9, give me the 8, give me a raw copy in a binder. 5, 10, 12, whatever it is. It's too much in my opinion. But I said the Moonbrion at 1,000 4 years ago was too much. When setting the CGC, what % 10 rate do you aim for? 100%. I aim for 100% pristine rate. But depending on the card, depending on what it's worth in a pristine and a gem and in a mint, the higher the better. But like sometimes you need a 20% to make it make sense. Sometimes you need a 30% to make it make sense. Sometimes you need a 90% to make it make sense. But higher the better. Agree or disagree? People say Ascended better than Prismatic, but top end Prismatic better than Ascended. Umbreon will be more raw graded than Gengar, Pikachu long term. Prismatic, Ascended, God Pack. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of overconfidence, I think, in the short term on what the greatest cards in a set will be. Moonbrion did not always reign supreme in Evolving Skies. There was some time where the Rayquaza EX was more valuable in a PSA 10 than the Moonbrion. Years ago, and this is talking about boxes, not about cards, but it still applies. Years ago, the XY set was Flashfire. Today, it's Phantom Forces. Things change over time. Consumer demand is fickle, and I have no clue. I cannot say with any level of confidence whether the Trikachu will be worth more or the Ascended Gengar or the Sunbreon, or like, I have no clue. Nobody has any idea. People can have guesses, but that's all they are, is guesses. And being a good investor, being a good speculator, being somebody who's in business, you should know what you know, and you should know what you don't know. And there's tons of people out here today. There's tons of cosplay investors out here today that they think they know everything. They're irrationally exuberant on a lot of stuff, and someday it'll probably catch up with them. Will they 20x their money before they take a 40% haircut, 60% haircut? Potentially. And ultimately, like, who cares? I know what I don't know, and I know that I don't know what the price of any of this stuff will be in 2 years. There's tons of people out there that will guarantee that the Moonbreon will be X and this will be Y, and like this can't go below that, and they're all making crap up. They have no clue. There were people 5 years ago guaranteeing Vivid wouldn't go below 300, guaranteeing this wouldn't go below MSRP, guaranteeing the new. It's yeah, I know what I don't know. If my income is 180K in a low cost of living area in the US, what do you think is a reasonable annual amount of money to invest in sealed Pokemon? I do not remotely have enough information. You live in a low cost living area, but you could be spending a lot of money in a low cost living area. I have my own idea for me. I talk about the buckets. I put my first about $80,000 into, where are the buckets? I haven't shown the buckets in a while. We got our SMART goals. Always set SMART goals. We got our buckets. My 401k, my IRA, I see those as bills. I see those as must-pay bills. The first, household-wise, the first $7K a month goes into the buckets. And then the next $7K a month pays for all of our expenses. And then after that, I put the rest of it into Pokemon. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more than those 14K a month. But I don't know you. I don't know your spousal situation, your insurance situation, your cash flow situation. I don't know your job. I know your income. How safe is that income? How much do you have already in Pokemon? How much do you have already in Bitcoin, in S&P 500, in VTSEX? And I don't know any of these things. And even if I did, if I knew all those things, I could tell you what I would do in your situation. But I would never suggest you on what you should do. I tell people what I do and why, and yeah, everyone needs to choose for themselves what they do. But there are answers you could give to those questions. Where me personally, I would put in 100K a year into Pokemon, and there are answers that you could give me that I would put in 0K a year into Pokemon. So literally anywhere between 0 and 120 is what I would do. Pending all the unknowns that I don't know. Question: what spreadsheets do you have that you recommend everyone should have for personal or business purposes? Google Sheets, Excel. Create your own spreadsheets. I think there's a lot of value in a lot of the tools out there. I do use Quicken and Simplify. But there's a lot of value in like creating your own customized spreadsheet. There is no spreadsheet out there. There's no mass product out there that is going to be optimized for you. The only thing that will be optimized for you is something that you create for yourself, or you pay someone to custom create for you. And I use a combination of Simplify and then some like home-brewed spreadsheets that I make. More rip and ship competition now compared to last year. I would say so. So yeah, absolutely. That's probably some part of it as well. Competition, both platform competition. eBay Live has gotten bigger. Fanatics Live maybe gotten bigger, but not to the same extent nearly. And then Whatnot's gotten bigger. I think the pie's gotten bigger. But then there's also competition within our own platform. Fanatics Live probably has more Pokemon sellers today than it did a year ago. Here we go. Here's a good question. Dan, do you still think Destined Rivals is going to MSRP? Let's see what. So I never said booster boxes. That is something that is lost on people. I never said booster boxes. But obviously, I said a year ago, I thought Destined Rivals would eventually be available under MSRP, widely available. I'm not throwing in the towel yet on the loose booster packs. But that's my only shot. Booster bundles, booster boxes, ETBs, PC ETBs, any of those things, I'm not going to say zero. I'm never going to say zero. But the odds of any Destined Rivals SKU other than loose booster packs going under MSRP is probably less than 1%, less than 3%. So like that's what I would attribute it to. Market price of booster packs is $8.68. So the packs would have to drop 50%. There are going to be dummies out there that will guarantee Destin Rivals booster packs can't drop 50% because they need to print Ascended, they need to print Prismatic, they need to print. I don't know what Pokemon's doing. Pokemon could just have a mission to like, we have to do Destin Rivals, and like they could Evolution's Destin Rivals. Most of you out there listening will have no. What does Dan mean? Evolution's Destin Rivals. Evolutions got reprinted for like 4 years. If Pokemon wanted to, they could Evolution's Destin Rivals to prove a point. Will they? Probably not. There's probably I'll probably attribute less than a 10% chance at this point of me winning my bet against Retro and Destin Rivals booster packs going under MSRP. I'm not throwing in the towel. There's still 10% chance happens 1 out of 10 times, right? Yeah, I think the odds are significantly lower. My odds are revised down a lot on Prismatic. New information. Time has passed, and again, dummies out there. Oh, Dan said a year ago. He said it one time in a video, so he thinks that forever. No, the market is dynamic. The market changes. There's new information. There's another year of rip and ship data. There's another year of print data. There's another year of all this stuff. Within the next month, we should find out how much product Pokemon printed in the past year. It'll be very interesting. Either way, whether it was higher or lower, I'm quite certain it was a fair bit higher. But people are so dumb. It's scary. And again, I've got a Nostalgianomics shirt on, so I'm gonna say it. Alex made videos years ago about how he didn't like Charizard UPCs. I think he even made a video that I could be wrong here. Definitely Charizard UPCs, but maybe even Mew UPCs, 151 UPCs, because they were like 300 out of the gate. They were high out of the gate, and it's like I think it's too much too early. Right now, today, he's saying he likes Prismatic better than Ascended. He's saying Ascended feels a little bit hot to him. But in 6 months, if Ascended Heroes ETBs drop 50%, which they could, dummies out there would tell you they couldn't. Impossible. I guarantee they won't. Like, dummies would say that. That's not me saying that. But if and when Ascended Heroes drops 50%, Alex would probably make a video like, hey guys, unlike 6 months ago when I was more a net seller, I'm now a net buyer. People call that flip-flopping. People call that I said a year ago, and I said 6 months ago, and I said it with less confidence and all that stuff. But like, I still thought 6 months ago, probably greater than a 50% chance that Destin would go loose packs under MSRP. 6 months ago, Prismatic was like $8 a pack. And what was Destin 6 months ago? Let me see what was Destin 6 months ago. Let's see how close Destin was to MSRP in the past year. Not super, but like not horrifically far off either. But yeah, like changing in the face of new information is something people should do, but most people's brains are too incapable of. I just died at Krilligan, so I'm just gonna log off now. I got a pet for tonight. I can't be too upset with the turnout this weekend. Hopefully we get a rainy day. My son is so into RuneScape too. When he watches me play, he'll love watching me do Coliseum. He'll love watching me do the Inferno. But yeah, I'm logging out for the night with a Bandos pet. But yeah, Destin Rivals over the past year. I will share the screen. Over the past year, it got down to 663. It got under 7. I mean, from 7, MSRP is $4.79 a pack, or it depends on the product, right? MSRP is like $4.49 a pack, maybe by the booster box, but quite a ways away. But again, people don't believe this, but like there are factors outside of Pokemon that could have caused Destin Rivals to go under MSRP. They didn't, so you were right. That outcome hit if you but if you guaranteed a year ago, if you guaranteed, which a lot of people did, if you guaranteed and you knew that it couldn't, and you're not right, your logic is wrong, your lack of logic is wrong, all that stuff, the outcome is what you said it would be so far. But like, if you at any point in the past year guaranteed Destin Rivals could not go under MSRP, you've been fundamentally wrong. I was wrong in that I thought it was more likely that it would, significantly more likely that it would than it wouldn't. So I was wrong in that way, but I never guaranteed that it would. I never guaranteed that it would. I know that I don't know. And it's very valuable to have 3 brain cells in your head to know what you know and know what you don't know. And a lot of people, they do not have 3 brain cells to rub together. And just like they did 5 years ago, they're guaranteeing this and that. And you were just trolling, but like, I think that's a good question. Dan, a year ago, you made a pretty bold statement in spite of what a lot of people, prevailing sentiment, all that stuff. Dan, you're such a bear, Dan. You said that this stuff could go under MSRP. Defend yourself. Like why would we listen to you at all, Dan? You're a dummy. I think that's not a troll. I think that's a very reasonable question to ask. And again, this guy's crumbling under the pressure. This guy is so wrong. He's so dumb, and he's such a bear. Like, what a dummy. The average person that would say that, and there are a million people that would listen to me right now, and they would say that about me. There are a million people that would say that, maybe millions. If millions of people were forced to watch this interaction and watch me answer that question and get all the context, this guy's a dummy. Like, I'm so much smarter than this guy because I have 3 booster boxes of Destin Rivals in my closet, 3 booster boxes of Destin Rivals under my bed, 2 loose booster packs under my pillow that I'm going to rip tomorrow night and pull nothing. It's scary. Generally speaking, the overconfidence and irrationality and irrational exuberance is disproportionately higher with people that have less skin in the game. It's scary. Like, people that are guaranteeing worst case scenario, Destin Rivals is going to be a $2,500 booster box like Evolving in 3 years. If I believe that, I would have tons of them. I would have 50% of my net worth if it was a guarantee. If it was a guaranteed triple up in 3 years, I would put 50% of my net worth tomorrow in it. And I would cease many of my business operations if it was guaranteed, truly guaranteed. And there's people spouting that off that have none of their net worth in it, or they have like less than 10. It's like, what are we doing? And they'll say, oh, well, I think this is going to 3X and that's going to 20X. And that's going to, like, the people are just morons, frankly. Let's see. Starting more questions, and then I will continue on. I will be live until the questions end, and then I will go to bed, and I will pay out consigners tomorrow, and I will continue booming. Oh man, Andrew has a Pokemon Go sealed ETB case from 16 months ago for $210. So Troll and Toad Evo was closing down. I blew out some of my stuff because I physically did not have the space to take my Troll and Toad Evo stuff back, and they closed down. I blew some stuff out like crazy. That's amazing because that's over $1,000 now, right? Aren't Pokemon Go ETBs like $100? I remember $500 Rainbow VMAX Pikachus and $150 Darkness of Blade VMAXs. Yep. And there were people that guaranteed that those wouldn't go below some arbitrary number. And yeah, it's I try to live by the know what you know sentiment. Had a solid opportunity to trade into a Lord of the Ring collector booster box, but had to say no because I cannot confidently say I know MTG at all. So that's one thing that, like, I actively get some One Piece from time to time. I get some One Piece in my possession from time to time. I sell it. I know that I don't know One Piece. I know that there's a little bit of money sitting there, and I just take the money and I put it into something that I know more. Like I don't know what any of this, the palette, I don't know that the palette's going to double in the next year. I didn't know it was going to 4X in the past 2 years. If you watch my original palette video, I hoped that it would double in 5 years. I would have been happy if palette 1 was $100,000 in 5 years. And it's $200,000 in 2 years. I know that in the next 2 years, palette 1 could drop to $100,000. It could drop back to where it started. Do I think it will? Do I think the likelihood of that is high? No, but I know that it could. And there's so many people that are just so irrational and crazy on all this. Dan and TRJ are bearish on Destin Rivals. I wouldn't even say that I'm necessarily bearish. Like I just I'm investing, speculating, all this stuff. I have a finite amount of capital, as does everyone. I love to buy Destin at 80% and sell it for 95%. I love to buy it at 85% and sell it for 90, 95%, 100%, whatever. I love to arbitrage it, make money, buy wholesale, sell retail. I know that I can do that, so I do that. But like, if I have to lock up $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, none of it went on pallet 4. None of it will probably go on pallet 5. maybe booster, like if a reprint happens of a right thing at the right time and it feels, I can't say never, but like Dust Unravels is significantly less likely to go on than a prismatic, even than an Ascended. I like, because again, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, I can buy packs of Destined at like 7 right now, probably. I can buy packs of Ascended at like 10 to 11, depending on the day, even though it's a lot earlier. 10 years from now, I'd rather have the Ascended over the Destined. But again, I'm one guy. I'm guessing. I don't know. Look at my palette. I had a lot of 151 that 10x'd. I had a lot of other stuff that only 2x or 3x or 6x or whatever, and everywhere in between. Let me actually, I won't highlight that one. I'll highlight that one later. Bro, you play OSRS. Now I'm a big fan. Currently fishing carambolons on the iron while I listen. Awesome. Yeah, the past like 3 years, I've mostly been a leagues guy because, well, the past 16 months especially, we're booming. I finished Gridmaster. I finished the whole grid. I just unlocked my final pact tonight. Not pact, my final relic tonight. And yeah, I got my first pet of the leagues, and it was baby Bandos. It was baby Grottor. I didn't guarantee it. I certified it. You talk too much. Thank you, Kai. Market price, Darkness Ablaze ETB in 20, 30, 40 years. 2x, 3x, and 4x. It's market price today. It will it will take 20 years to do the first 2x, and then it will 3x, 4x. Back to my starred questions. I have 7 of them. I will end when I finish the backlog of questions. Hayden was curious if you know anything about the bulk market. Do you sell your bulk? If you feel comfy sharing, for how much? Have you noticed how much you can get for an increase, decrease? I was selling bulk, not in the high. I hear squeaks. I heard squeaks on the last Off Center pod. Shout out to them. Maybe it was a couple Off Center pods ago. I was around for the great bulk collapse of like 2016. But years ago, I used to sell bulk to Troll and Toad for like 7 cents. 7 cents a piece. $70 per 1,000 cards. It was crazy. And these days, it's like, what is it, a cent a card? I don't rip many packs, so I don't have a ton of bulk generated these days. Most of the bulk goes into 4 rows, and it goes into my son's collection, and it ends up all over the living room floor and their playroom floor, and the wife doesn't end up too happy about it, and they just get scooped up in mass and put back into his 4 rows. But no, I'm not up to speed on bulk these days. I don't interact with it too much. I have in the past sold it. Years ago, I used to sell it for 2-3 cents a piece. I watched it go up to 7 cents a piece. I watched it tank all the way back down to half a cent to a cent a piece. Dex is the best website I've used for card lookups. I feel like it doesn't get enough love. Again, there are so many now. Shiny and Double Hollow and Card Ladder and Alt and ones that I used to use every day 10 years ago, 5 years ago are just gone now. I used to use Pokemetrics and I used to use Pokemon Price, and it's crazy, the turnover and all that stuff. Dan, what's your opinion on booster bundles for us small-time investors? My favorites, booster boxes. My next favorite is like a tie for booster bundles and ETBs. I've said, me personally, I don't like the air. I don't like the extra space they take. Space is a limiting factor for me. Sometime this summer, space is significantly getting increased. My dad, actually, one of his locations, he's adding a lot of storage space, and I'll have access to some of that. And then I'm adding a new storage location that I'm going to have access to. Probably, I would probably be able to store 60 pallets, and I will never have 60 pallets, especially not like the pallets that I currently have. But having that much space, having all that space for activities will be had. I will be able to invest and speculate in some of the random more area products. So I used to be more negative on booster bundles and ETBs because personally for me, like, I didn't have the space, but I think they have their place. Some people are so afraid of loose packs. So like you protect those people and look at 151 booster bundles. I talked about it in a video pretty recently. 151 versus Ascended. The growth in the loose packs, the bundles, the ETBs, the UPCs, like relatively close-ish over certain time frames, depending on when you're looking. Are you still collecting, or does the business side require your full focus at this point? All the stuff behind me, I have coins, I have steins, I have video games, I have a lot of the Pokemon Center merch, I have the Legos. I actually still need to build the Legos. I need to find a rainy day in the next week or two, and we need to like knock out the Pikachu at least. We haven't even built the Pikachu yet. I bought 2 of every Lego set and I'm gonna build one with my kids and keep one sealed for now. Why is my weather app not loading? Come on, load. 10-day forecast. Do we have cold, rainy? Holy, it's going to be 88 Tuesday? What in the hell's going on? We had a frost the other night. Did this just kill my internet? Did I lag a bunch? I think opening my weather underground, I think it killed my bandwidth, killed my upload. But yeah, we just had a frost warning the other night. And then it's 88 in thunderstorms Tuesday. Oh. Some of these rainy days, when the kids don't have baseball, I'll have to get started with them on the Pikachu at least, and then go from there. But no, I still collect. I have some binders I'm working on very, very slowly. Most of the binders that I have that I'm working on, they're cards that I pull with my kids. They're cards that I pull with my friends at an event. They're a signed card. They're a random thing that I get in the mail, whatever. I mostly have long-term inventory, though. I don't really have like a ton of PC. It's long-term inventory. I don't plan on taking much of anything to my grave. Probably my original PC binder from my childhood. I will own that when I leave this earth. But other than that, I will own very little of anything. I'll probably own a lot of this stuff. I'll probably own a lot of this stuff because like a lot of it doesn't have a crazy resale market value the way that the cards do for whatever reason. And yeah. But definitely still collecting and helping my kids engage with collecting. My kids both have binders. My son's a lot more into it than my daughter currently. Howdy, Dan. Was curious if you have any. Oh, I did that one. I don't know if I double starred it or I don't know if you asked it twice. You might have asked it twice because it took me a while. Couple more starred questions. I have 8 starred questions. Continuing on with those. Working on splitting business spending from personal. Do you have a credit card you would recommend for business expenses? Fully paid off each month, of course. So I'm not like up to speed on the credit card game. There might be people in the chat that have more recently looked into it. I used to years ago. My first stop would always be NerdWallet, nerdwallet.com. And they'll just show you like the top. And I think these days it's a lot more. I think it got sold. I think it's a lot more pay to play. But yeah, if you look up, this is the site that I'm familiar with. It's not what it used to be, but I'm on nerdwallet.com. I went to credit cards, best all around, Chase Freedom Unlimited. You can probably look up like filter for business somewhere. Maybe there's not a business one. Balance transfer, 0% APR. I'm not up to speed with all the latest and greatest things. I don't keep up to speed with them. But yeah, so probably look up the personal finance Reddit, look up NerdWallet. Like there'll probably be someone to better inform you. That said, though, I have an Amex, the Amazon Amex thing. I get 5% there. I have a Citi Double Cash, 2% on everything. I have a Bank of America card for personal spending, 1, 2, 3 rotating categories, and then Discover It personal. And then I have the PayPal card, 3% on everything. PayPal. I do a little bit of PayPal. So probably get a bunch of them. Probably get multiple. And try to get ones that complement each other to some extent. What's good? What part of the psychology of a market cycle do you think we are in at the moment? Oh, this is a good one. Market cycle chart. I'll pull it up so we can look at it. Let me find the one that everyone always points to. I see a bunch here. Should I look up the one? This is the one that I always see, the bubble one. Not to say we're in a bubble, but this is the one everyone always points to. So, which part of the psychology of a market cycle do you think we're in at the moment? I think we're early, baby. I think we're in the takeoff. I think we're in the early takeoff phase. I honestly don't know. I think these charts have interesting features to them, but like I think some people think that like everything has to happen exactly this way. So like to some extent, we could be in a broader thing. Like this could be 2016 back here, and this could have been 2020 here, and we could be here right now. We could also be in a we could be in the delusion new paradigm. We could be maybe the drop 3 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever the drop was, 10-20% drop. Maybe that was the bull trap, and then we're on a bigger return to normal, and then we're just gonna tank. Like I have no clue. Again, work where you have knowledge, work where you know what you know. I have no ability to know any of this stuff. But like if I had to guess, I truly think we are early in a lot of ways. Does that mean you can go buy anything at 100% a market, 110% a market if you're a dummy paying sales tax on items intended for resale? Does that mean you can buy anything at 110% a market and make money? No. But I think we're early in that Fanatics is putting a ton of money into the space. eBay is putting a ton of money into the space. GameStop is putting a ton of money into the space. Pokemon just put tons of money into adding new print facility. I think we're early in many regards, but I still think you need to be reasonable. You need to not be irrationally exuberant and crazy and get out of your skis. So like I think I'm just gonna say we're early. We're booming, but we're also early. But you can also lose tons of money if you're stupid. Stupid or too risky or blah, blah, blah. That's my true unfiltered thoughts on that. What do you think the market price of the 151 PC ETB will be in 20 years? What is it today? $1,000? Let me see. This is where people really like forecast out what's going on today. People's irrational exuberance knows no bounds. Because there are people that just think, and maybe I'm the dumb one, maybe 151 PC ETB. So in the past year, it tripled. So if it tripled every year for the next 20 years, so let's do 3 to the 20th. Let's do a little bit of a math lesson here. So for Pokemon Center ETB to triple each year for the next 20 years, that would multiply it by, oh man, this doesn't have commas. That would multiply its price by 3 billion. So if Pokemon Center 151 ETBs perform over the next 20, as they did over the past 12 months, over the next 20 years, they tripled. If they triple every year for the next 20 years, that's it'll be a $3 trillion PC ETB. I'm gonna do it. I can't do it. I was gonna guarantee that it won't be that high, but if anyone's familiar with Zimbabwe, they printed $100 trillion note because their currency got hyperinflated away. I'm not going to rule out there's less than a 1% chance that a 151 piece ETB is worth $3 trillion in less than 20 years. It could happen through the debasement of the U.S. currency. So never say never. What do I truly think it'll be? $5,000? Dan, it tripled in the past 12 months, and you think it's only going to triple in the next 20 years? I have no clue. I probably own 4 151 PC ETBs today. I bought them all today. In the next month, I'll sell all 4 that I have and probably buy 4 more and sell them and buy. Like, I'm not holding any for the long term. I think the price is stupid today for what it is. I think it's crazy. I think it's way too high. But I think a lot of things are way too high. But I also think we're early. Like, some people might not comprehend how all these things can be true. I can hold all these ideas and they can all be in alignment with each other, and I can still do business in this space. I can still speculate in this space, and it can still be plus EV. But that's where I'm at. I'm gonna guess 5K in real terms. Inflation adjusted 5K. Is 154 prismatic a good starting point? I'm assuming this is the ETB prismatic elite trainer box. It's better than 160 and it's worse than 150 and it's worse than 140. I don't know you. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what you're doing. I like 154 prismatic over the next 6 to 12 months, then I like 180 Ascended or whatever the hell it is. What is Ascended? Yeah, Ascended being more than Prismatic, dollar for dollar, pound for pound today. 6 to 12 month time horizon. I like Prismatic more. I could be wrong though. How scarce do you think product is today? Is it completely artificial? I don't think it's personally, but I also think this level of craziness is unsustainable. Obviously, mathematically, tripling, quadrupling, 5xing, 10xing things in a year. Yes, that is mathematically unsustainable over the long duration, as my math provided. How scarce do I think it is? What? Most anything you can get. Like Ascended is expensive, but it is out there. Plenty. If I wanted to get 5 pallets of Ascended Heroes ETBs tomorrow, I could. It is out there. There's a lot of it. It is expensive though. So it's not scarce. It's just expensive. Two very different things. And people found that out 5 years ago with Ascended with Vivid and all these different things. And I don't know when, and maybe we'll 20x between now and then, but someday people will find out how wrong they are with these guaranteed floors and this and that and all. I don't know when. I'm prepared. Some people will get destroyed, but everyone's an adult. I've been having a blast. I'm having a blast right now in this current market. All the win-wins with all the homies, doing all the things, booming as we're booming. It's been a blast. Have you invested in Lorcana? No. But looking at the collector app earlier, I think I bought Lorcana today a little bit. I'm starring questions again. Here we go. What about your streamers? Do they keep / ship all the bulk they rip? Go is cause you the go. So they own their own bulk. So the way part of their profit, part of their pay, a very minimal part of their pay, but they profit their bulk. We do rip and ship. We do hits only, and I think some of them hoard it from time to time, and some of them bulk it out. Like you could feel free to reach out to them. Ponga, PK, like they're their own guys. They're their own independent contractors, their own companies, their own businesses. And they open my packs, and then it turns into their bulk. But then you've also got Grimer, you've got Bierski, you've got Spat, who they don't do nearly as much rip and ship on eBay Live as PK and Ponga do on Fanatics. But they do some, so hit them up. Maybe they have bulk to offload to you. Like I really don't know exactly what they all do. At what point do you cash all of it out and enjoy life and family? I'm enjoying life and family right now, but there's a certain number that like I theoretically could sell a bunch of it and like I'm already financially independent. I'm already coast fire. I'm already there. It's just not like my net worth is there. It's just not all in the tax advantage buckets and then having the right amount in the brokerage accounts to bridge the gap. A lot of ways to bridge the gap from whenever we retire. But right now, like my kids are in school. While my kids are at school, I'm not going to sit around and twiddle my thumbs all day. While my wife's at school teaching, I'm not going to twiddle my thumbs all day. I'm not going to play RuneScape all day. I'll play some of the day, but I'm not going to play all day. You need something. You need something to keep the mind sharp. You need something to keep yourself busy. So I'm always going to do something. I'll never be done. But like me quitting my job to go full-time Pokemon, that was step one. That was me taking the foot off the gas a little bit. I used to work 50 hours a week as an engineer and 30 hours a week on the side. I used to work 80-hour weeks. I'm probably working 45-hour weeks right now. In the summer, I'll probably work 35-hour weeks, and I'll spend more time with the family. So, like, I'm already there to some extent, but it's a spectrum. I'm not going to be fully in the workforce and then fully retired. 0-1, binary, black, white. There's weeks in my life where I was grinding out, not many weeks in a row, but like there are singular weeks in my life that I worked 100 hours a week. I never will do that again, probably. If the right opportunity happened, if some local homie got an LGS, it's like there could be a week where I would work 80, 90, 100 hours in a week. But like the odds of it are so much lower. The things would have to be perfect. If my wife was traveling with the kids, whatever was happening, kids were away at some summer camp and the wife was on some girls trip, whatever. Theoretically, it could happen, and never say never. But significantly less likely to happen. It's happened before, and yeah. I bought 8 first partner boxes and none were first gen. A bit sus. So the odds of your first partner pack not being first gen is 2 out of 3. If you take 2 out of 3 to the 8th, that will tell you your odds. 2 out of the 3 to the 8th. So 4% chance. There's a 4% chance of opening 8 packs. Is that right? The odds of opening not first partner is 2/3. So the odds of opening, the odds of opening not first partner 8 times in a row would be 4%. If 25 people open 8 packs, this is RuneScape guy talking. This is stats guy, math guy, engineer guy talking, but mostly RuneScape guy. It's not that sus. If 25 people were to open 8 first partner packs, one of them would get no Series 1. If 25,000 people were to open first partner Series 1 packs, 8 of them, 1,000 people would be expected. So you are one of 1,000 people who opened 8 of them and didn't get 1 Series 1 or 1 Kanto or whatever. Not enough information to say you were scammed, but you could have been. You could have been as well. And RuneScape drop rates, if you go and kill 5,000 General Grottor, you have a 63% chance of getting a 1 in 5,000 drop in 5,000 kills. And a lot of people, I just killed 5,000 Grottor, I killed 5,000 Bandos, and I didn't get my pet. Screw you, Jagex. You're scamming me. Like, that's not how math works. Some people will have 5 pets by 5,000 kills. Some people open 8 and got 4 Kantos or 6 Kantos. And enough people open, maybe somebody gets 8 Kantos. Let's do 1/3 to the 8th. 1/3 to the 8th is 1 in 10,000 people approximately. There's probably more than 10,000 people that open 8 first partner Series 1s. One of them will have gotten 8 Kantos. That is math. That is not one of them guaranteed. There's probably a 63% chance exactly one will have gotten that, and there's some percent chance more got that. And stats and all that stuff is a lot of fun. And a lot of people are very bad at it. Dan, if you're trying to make your Pokemon side hustle your main hustle, what would be your criteria to make the jump, i.e. consistently earning more than the day job, having buffer of stock? I've made that video multiple times. Go to my channel. I'm going to be wrapping up relatively soon. Go to my channel and search quitting job, full-time Pokemon. It's out there. But like the reason that I did it, I had no debt. I was making more on the side than I was full-time engineer. All the different things. And my case was an extreme example. I had a sugar mama with health insurance and made enough to pay all the household bills and all that stuff. But like I had way more than I would have needed. I would have quit with way less, but I had what I had, and it happened all very quickly over a short time frame. But yeah, all that talk is out there many, many times. Let's see. Oh, 6 in a case? What was it? Oh, 8 first partner boxes, though, not cases. I don't know if I'm talking about the right thing here. I don't know what the EV of first partner Series 1 is right now. I have a lot of them, though. Dan, let's not talk about Dragon Warhammer, Zenites, and Enhanced Weapon Seeds. I didn't go Tyrannwyn, so I went Wilderness, Mauritania, Asgarnia. My main goal, I wanted to get a God Wars pet. I want to get a couple. I already got the easy one. I already got the Chaos Elemental pet last leagues. I want to get the bear pet. I want to get the bear pet. I wouldn't mind getting the Spiderling pet. I want to get the Rift Guardian just because it'll be so easy. I got the thieving pet last league. I had the thieving one where you would just auto thieve. But man, I consume way more RuneScape content than I play it, but I enjoy it so much. It's such a fun game. How many of the Mega Zygarde EX boxes did you order? 8 packs of Perfect Order. Oh, that's what someone was talking about. I don't order anything. I get allocated. I took all I was allocated. I wish I could order things, but I don't. Dan, how long are the CGC Fanatics turnaround times right now? I listed some things today that go live tomorrow that people sent me 3 weeks ago. Also, there are things people sent me 5 weeks ago that are not yet listed that likely will be listed next week. So 3 to 6 weeks. First in, F off. Sometimes it's first in, first out, but not always. Will Pokemon hype die down with the release of GTA 6? I don't think they'd be that highly related. There's probably a lot of people that play GTA 6 that are into Pokemon, but I don't think Pokemon community will be disproportionately like say 20% of Americans, which is probably very high, buy and play GTA 6. I don't think the percentage of people in Pokemon that buy and play GTA 6 would be higher than 20%. Maybe it would be. Maybe there's a big overlap between that specific video game franchise and Pokemon buyers. Some people are going all GTA in the Targets and the Walmarts and the Costco's. But maybe I'm underappreciating how big GTA 6 will be, but I wouldn't remotely have that thought personally. If you're young and still have a lot of financial milestones to hit, debt, house, marriage, would you advise to take advantage of the liquidity and lock in profits? Pokey talked about this. Your take. Again, everyone's situation is different. So I'll take your question in a different way. If I was 18 years old in this boom, getting out of high school, and I was faced with going into debt to go to engineering school, or fresh out of college making $100,000 a year net full time in Pokemon, I would skip college. I would leverage some credit card debt. I would go in hard and heavy to grind out Pokemon. I would not be heavily investing in Pokemon. I would be heavily grinding, flipping, grading, vending, buying, streaming, selling, all the things, but not much investing. So but I wouldn't be afraid. So I paid off my house early. I would have a mortgage right now. I would not look into paying off debt that aside from credit card debt maybe, but like any debt below 10%, my car loan, my student loans, my potential mortgage in a different world, in a different scenario, I would keep all that debt. The buckets, that's for me. Some people, that gets lost on a lot of people. And I'm not saying this to you. I took your comment off the screen. The buckets are for me right now. Put me in a different scenario in this boom. Where's my OBS? I lost it in all my monitors, and these are for me right now in this life, in this world, in this like where I'm at. 36-year-old dude doing pretty well, no debt, all the things going on. If I'm 20 in this boom, I'm potentially dropping out of college. If I haven't started yet, I'm probably not starting college. If I just graduated college, I would probably skip going as an engineer. My first year, I made $52,000. I would skip $52,000. I would pay the minimum payment on the student loans. I would pay the minimum payment on the car loan. I would rent. I would probably not buy a house. I would put all my net worth and then some into flipping in this boom, in this market. But yeah, personal finance, very personal, risk tolerance, yada, yada, yada. I lived with my parents for 2 years out of college. I probably would have leveraged that situation. I would have said, hey, mom, hey, dad, we're booming. I'm going to live here a couple more years. I'm going to turn the whole upstairs into like this. It used to be a Stein empire. At one point, I had 300 something Steins in my inventory at one time in my parents' upstairs. I would be like, hey, we're booming. I need some more space. I need part of the garage. I need part of the basement. I would leverage having a good support system, having the family, having the ability to live with my parents. And I would be grinding out this boom like mad. But like everyone's situation is different. If you're, because in that world, in my world 15 years ago, my worst case scenario was like my worst case scenario today. And I talk about this all the time. If Pokemon went to zero tomorrow, if my buckets went to zero tomorrow, if everything, barring the effect that would have on my parents and my mom's job and all that, like all that aside, but like my parents would like find room in their house to like home me and my family. Like my ability to become homeless is really not there. Having that so like depending on what your downside is, changes the amount of risk you'll take on, right? I hope that ramble makes sense. It is getting late. I'm probably gonna wrap up pretty soon, but everyone's situation is so different. Yes, we are talking a lot of old school RuneScape. Final question, I think. Unless any new one comes in last second, I will take them. Question: how much Black Bolt White Flare do you rip on streams? Feel like it's been consistently overshadowed by Prismatic and Ascended. I want to say Black Bolt is our 5th highest set for this year. We ripped the most Ascended by far. Black Bolt is 5th. Black Bolt is number 5 right now. White Flare is a lot less. We've ripped 4 times as much Black Bolt as we have White Flare. But yeah, it's a top 5 set for us. It's Ascended, then Prismatic, then Phantasmal, then did I say 4? Ascended. They're not like in order. Ascended, Prismatic, Phantasmal, Destined, Black Bolt. There's the top 5. I think that's the final. One more question. If they had spent half Prismatics over reprinting from the last year and put it into Obsidian, Paradox, Temporal, Twilight, Journey, you think they could have gotten them all below MSRP? Yeah, I truly think. And 151 was being printed like a bit over the past year. If they let go of 151, if they let go of more of that stuff, Crown only 16, 18 months ago was being printed. Sea and Skyboxes 16 months ago, 18 months ago were dropping in Costco. If they had let more of Sword and Shield go later, I'm pretty confident that and if they spent half Prismatic's reprint, so Obsidian, Paradox, Temporal, Twilight, all those were available under MSRP. So I'll go further. If they let everything from Twilight back go, like, hey guys, it was there, you missed it, sorry, our bad. I think Surgeon could have stayed under MSRP for a fair bit longer. I think Journey definitely could have gotten under MSRP. In a different world, and I know they're printing tons of Prismatic. There's some amount of Prismatic that could have been printed. Maybe they didn't have the I don't know, but there's some amount of Prismatic they could have printed. If they literally printed the baseline of everything else and then everything else was Prismatic, Prismatic probably would have been pretty damn close to MSRP. But who knows? I know that I don't know. Thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate you watching as always. Like, subscribe, all the things. My palette won 4x in 2 years. My sub count has not even doubled. We're on the push for 10K. Maybe I'll do something big for 10K. I probably, maybe I will. We'll see. We're booming. Appreciate everyone hanging out. I appreciate you watching. I will catch you all later.